All right, cool.
There we go. Technical difficulties over. We're back. We're here. We're in action. I'm gonna
Almost,
let Rob do the recap again because I interrupted him because I couldn't hear him.
Let's see if we can't figure this out because I'm
Rob,
trying to.
Your channel doesn't have any face cams, Rob.
No, in fact, it can't even find.
Yeah, you might want to stop live and go back in.
All right, I'm gonna be back.
Yeah, your personal face cam won't capture because you're in the video call.
Yep.
Unless you have two video cameras.
Let me see. No, what my problem is it's not picking up. You guys can hear me, right?
When you're throwing down?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's literally not picking up the Google Chrome window with the fucking chat in it. Like I can't find it. It won't, like when I go to window capture, it has settings for window capture, Streamlabs OBS, and Elgato sound capture, and that's it.
You're still live, by the way.
No, I canceled.
Yeah, he's off. Yeah, he's off.
No,
it's just a delay.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Fuck me. I hate this. I fucking hate all of this.
So we did
technical difficulties
so
across the board.
last week.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be working. At least this one's working, and we're getting people coming in.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest though, Rob. You had 20 viewers in like 13 seconds.
Yeah, well,
my grid friend screen is super delayed on my local machine over here.
But why is?
All right, ready? I'm gonna close you out. Dial back in, Chris. Ready?
Well, I'm gonna fix this shit, and then I'm gonna try this again.
All right.
See if that syncs up everything.
I'm back.
All right, that looks better. All right.
While
Rob tries to figure it out, let's start recapping for the viewers that we got creeping in here.
So,
I can recap if you guys want.
If you want, Rob, the continuation basically up to the point that Rob had is that you guys had broken free from jail, or at least what was the drunk tank. Met a guard by the name of Sorori, and you were sort of hired by the Duke to give your freedom. He said he would give you your freedom and pardon you from all of your expenses incurred from your reckless night of destroying the town after a festival by just delivering some wheat and barley to a local village nearby. You guys went off, fought some bandits in the woods because they had attacked your cart, albeit they were not very good at their job. And that was what he finished off at. So if you would like to take over, go ahead.
Can't believe you're selling my heroics so short.
So heroics sold short. There were 8 bandits in the woods, and we abandoned the carts. And after some negotiation, one by one, we basically freed ourselves from being chained down to these carts for various reasons.
There we go.
And I vaguely remember, I think it was it Turbidus that entered into the woods after hearing a little bit of a ruffle. I didn't trust Turbidus, our tiefling with an identity crisis who's not with us tonight, to actually achieve much. So I followed him into the woods, where we met the bandit leader, who very quickly was critically damaged in the face. Thanks to some solid rolls. At which we then started to take out each bandit one by one, ultimately winning, not successfully gathering much in terms of loot. And retreating from that scene to a cave where I think we are now, a very, very cold cave in a mountain pass, on our way to see who I think might be Duke Ruxford, where the Duke my boy Duke Horatio,
the
his
Duke
daughter
he
might be over. We're trying to find Amelia. He might be dead. In Kalingam. We're going to Kalingam.
Just like I am inside,
Amelia is dead. Amelia was the Duke's daughter. Duke was very short daughter.
He might be dead. Who knows? Not right now.
It's just a mystery
Well,
now.
she was kind of confirmed dead by the night, Sorori, who pretty much buried her himself. So there you go.
I'll take it.
So in that case, both Rob and Chris, you can both take a point of inspiration for a successful recap.
Nice.
I'm gonna do D&D Beyond. Right. I'm gonna get my dude up here.
So, where tonight begins is after the frozen night you guys had inside of this cavern, trying to rest up on the mountain pass. Raytheon, you had constructed a wall to block off the entrance to the cavern to prevent any sort of outside intrusions, as well as preventing sort of making a kiln for yourselves to sort of rest up and cook in. But as the next day comes to you all, it's dark as always, with the fire of the night being extinguished. As what you would assume to be the sun rising, as your sort of a circadian rhythm kicks into effect, and you guys wake up slowly but staggeredly. A new day is upon you all. To each of you who begin to wake up one by one, Sorori sits there, what looks to be eating some sort of jerky, perhaps, or a couple fruits, maybe, something along those lines. And as he's sort of sitting there, just looking around as you guys all wake up, gestures to you all. Good morning. Rise and shine. We've got a nippy journey ahead of us. I suggest you all get warm now. Maybe cold along the way.
Is that an invitation for sex?
Yes, it is.
To my plan.
It was a cold night here in this cave.
It was a cold, nippy night.
I could have used the warmth of a long-haired golden.
I'll show you my warhammer. Oh boy.
God. Okay. Well
That
then.
evolved quickly.
So, as the next day comes for you all, the sort of you're not chained down this time, given your mutual sort of respect to this night that you guys had acquired throughout your conversations the night prior. But Raytheon, you drop the wall that as you guys gather up in the carts, leading back out into the mountain pass. And as you guys begin your venture on ahead, cold winds strike immediately as you exit your lukewarm sort of cavern that you had successfully insulated over time. But as the winter winds strike you bitter down the spine, and some of you are familiar from freezing and teeth clattering the night before. The struggle of the whatever journey lies ahead comes across you as everyone mentally prepares for what is to come. To begin, I'd like everyone to make a Constitution check.
Constitution check.
got a nat
Nice.
1.
Oh
Nice.
boy.
Excellent.
22.
I got nat 1 plus 2, so I got a 3.
Why won't let me? Don't you usually just click
got
on it?
a-
And
I got a
roll?
16.
There we go.
16. Okay.
I got a 4. Yay!
All right, with
So
me.
we got a 4. We got a 1. I'll roll for Turbidus here.
Looks like you'll be sharing your bed with me tonight, Thorim.
We're playing D&D. If you don't know what's going on.
Okay, so Turbidus got a 12. Okay, so
I had to reopen my thing real quick. Constitution check. I got a 11.
11. Okay, or with a 4, and then or with a 4 or 6, Raytheon with a natural 1. So, given that, as the winds hit harder than you had expected, Raytheon, that you had cuddled up the night before, very nicely besides the fire, embracing it. The winter winds bite especially hard at you now, as the early couple hours into your journey, you are just freezing. You are borderline shaking almost uncontrollably at this point. Your hide and your armor does not prepare you as well as you had expected for this journey, especially now. And for whatever reason, the frost fights back even harder today than it did yesterday. And frostbite is very close to happening for you at this point now. Thorim, for you as well. Well, not quite as vicious as Raytheon is. The sort of effects of the cold bite back at your plate body, or almost the cold is almost amplified by the metal that coats your body, as you begin to shiver as well, beside the cart as everyone is sitting around. And as a couple hours pass along your journey, Sorori's in front of the cart, trekking on ahead, who appears to be quite cold as well. Very much chattering his teeth. He's thinking. You could hear the leather from the reins of the horses are like sort of slightly moving and snapping the horses as he unintentionally holds on to them and shakes. But as the next couple hours pass along, I'd like everyone to make another Constitution check for me. Okay.
8.
I got a 20, 19 plus 1.
16.
Can it just be known I'm very constitute? I have 13.
16.
Okay, 16. Okay. Connor, you got an 8?
Yes.
All right. Connor, beginning to feel the frost now as well as Raytheon. You see Raytheon, and almost like by effect, you begin to pick up on that chill as well. As first, it comes with just an instinctive sort of cringe as that jolts down your spine, as just this bitterness sort of runs along your skin almost. Certainly an unnatural climate for a hobgoblin, especially now. As the cold weather fights away at you, your party is beginning to freeze quite a bit now. Sorori and Turbidus relatively well. Turbidus especially holding his own in the back of the cart. Seems to not be having much issue with the cold, even though for someone who has a more of an affinity to fire, doesn't seem to be doing too bad against the cold. I would like everyone to make one final Constitution check for me as the next couple hours pass on, and the descent down from the mountain pass begins to show itself.
Fuck me.
I got a 12.
I got a fucking natural 1 with it, so I got a 4.
All right.
All right, so I'm not constitute anymore.
17.
15.
17.
14.
You're not constipated anymore?
I'm very constipated now. I wasn't before.
It's some Pepto-Bismol, man.
Yeah.
Tum, 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 tum.
while Sir Rory was feeling that shiver quite a few moments ago, suddenly he has sort of found his groove in this and found a way to warm himself up. As his shivering slowly comes to a stop. As far as the rest of you, Flamboyant, you're the only one. You now are beginning to pick up on the rest of the group. Rune being the only person who has yet to really succumb to the cold with him and Turbidus. Rune the Destroyed slightly becomes less destroyed amidst the rest of it.
Finally.
The D slowly begins to meld back into an R. You see some of that little curve on the D slowly cuts away in the name. But Flamboyant, you begin to really shake and shiver from the cold. And as the cart begins to descend downwards of this mountain pass and as the winds strike against you all, the temperature slowly begins to drop as well with the intensity of the winds. As marching on ahead now, you see what looks like trees that are slightly covered in snow across this plainscape in a way that lies ahead. And after a little bit of time, Rory eventually drops his hood, progresses forward as the snow slowly begins to melt along the way. You guys progressively make your way into warmer climates once again. At this point now, after probably about, you started your journey probably a little past sunrise. It's definitely now midday. Mild temperatures now as you begin to, mild isn't like 30 to 40 compared to like 0.
Heat wave.
You guys slowly proceed forward. Let's see. Raytheon, make a perception check for me.
Do I have to?
You do.
That's gonna be 19, sir.
19. Okay. Looking around as the snow-coated ground is ahead of you. With your sort of natural affinity to nature and everything around you and being able to track, you notice a couple odd footprints in the snow. Something that is a smaller size, not big, smaller than like a humanoid footprint per se. But you can tell maybe there's something that just traveled along this path relatively pretty shortly before you guys arrived, given how fresh the footprints look. And it seems like there's a trail that ventures off slightly off the side of the road with these little sort of patterns of red snow that drops occasionally along the path.
So naturally, with a lot of vigor, I'm going to dismount off this cart in what looks like a very exciting maneuver and start chasing down the trail of this blood-covered footprints.
Okay.
Not saying a word to the party, but very visibly running down this.
Okay.
Watch for sticks.
So given your frozen nature currently, your speed will be halved for moving forward.
Deal.
Now.
I think I'm moving fast.
You think you're trudging along, but really you're like shivering, you're holding yourself up.
Like, what is this guy doing?
Rory just kind of stops the cart and looks over at you and just sits there watching you in silence, just wondering, what? Doesn't even bother to say anything as he just watches you walk off. Well, what are you looking for? What would you like to do?
I want to kind of understand. I want to try to identify these prints as much as possible. So I want to use maybe my nature ability to do that. I think I recognize the shape of this foot. It's definitely not doesn't seem like a big beast, so it doesn't feel too dangerous.
For this, I would say make a survival check because you're more so observing tracks. So
even better. Let me roll real dice for this. All right, that's a 19, sir.
19. You'd be familiar with this. That this is wolf tracks.
I knew it was a
Hey guys, this is wolf tracks. These
Looks
are
like-
wolf tracks, guys.
looks like maybe roughly four wolves.
I'd
That's
say
not
roughly 4 wolves, guys. Maybe roughly 4 wolves.
Is it roughly because they're dogs?
Oh,
Are we guaranteeing wolves? You know.
God,
Fucking dad jokes.
take
You
one.
roll for pawception.
Take one.
Pawception?
Oh my God. Good Lord. I take pun damage as a DM.
Critical hit.
It's a critical roll if I've ever heard one.
There, I took 4 points of psychic damage as the DM. God. Oh my God.
I've heard it, God. Yes.
Paladins do have a reach. So yeah, you get that sort of a clue on in that there's something afoot in the snow here. That's all. Unless there's something else you'd like to do in particular besides
Do I find any now that I'm like away from the cart? Am I in trees or am I like in a plain, like a flat area?
There's really not a lot of trees. There's a few scattered about that are sort of cut like pine trees that are covered in snow, really. But it's definitely not a dense forest in this area. It's still very cold and snowy in this area, but just not as bad as the mountain was, basically.
How
Do
far we?
the tracks just end? Like there's no like.
Yeah,
Okay.
The tracks. I mean, no, the tracks keep going ahead if you want to keep following them.
that's what I was gonna ask. Okay.
Yo, what's his name? Rune, Slappy. You got wanna follow these with me? I might need some firepower.
Slappy doesn't get you what you want.
All right, I'll take the other paladin.
He still shares my bed. You
Thorim,
get me or
Mr.
you get
Shadowsbane.
nothing.
All right, I'll
Shadowsbane, let's
join
do
you.
this. Let's go
What the
find
hell's
these.
going on? We're gonna be white people in a horror movie.
He said white people in a horror movie. Yeah.
Well, and this was the end of HazarD&D. Tune in next week to find out what the next group has in store.
Oh my goodness.
I hope Raytheon will be right back.
Oh man.
All right.
Never heard of a funny, lawful, good paladin, have you?
Oh god, dude.
Oh my Lord.
Connor, you should probably join us too. I feel like let's leave the two lovebirds back in the shop.
Oh, what the hell? I'm bored anyway. Let's do it.
Shut the door behind you, if there is a door.
All right, so Zach, we got Thorim, Raytheon, and Connor now tracking these things in the woods.
You do.
Proper split up party right in the beginning of the session.
Turbidus is hanging back. He's as you guys. You know what? I think I'm just gonna hang back with Rory. He's a great guy. Great conversation. Isn't that right, Rory? Rory's.
Now you know what? I have a lot of respect for Turbidus, man. I urge Turbidus to go, man. Is there a way I can make Turbidus to go?
What do you say to Turbidus?
Like, listen, I mean, you were the MVP of the last battle, man. So get your butt up and come on. Let's go.
I love how the dwarf gets no respect.
Well,
They pay my left tit.
as much as I appreciate that, I'm not just gonna leave Rory to die here in the desert. Scout's honor.
Don't worry, Rune will stay back with him. It's okay. You get in there.
You sure about that?
Hey, Turby, you coming or what?
No, hold on. I don't want to leave him. It's cold. There's plenty of things out here that could attack him. I mean, who knows what could happen at this point? Rune, why don't you go? I'll hang back.
All right, fine. I'll go, but only if I get to kill the dwarf.
I ain't going nowhere with this fucking elf.
Well, that's out of my hands.
Ladies, settle down.
Every episode is gonna be an ongoing skirmish between these two. It's hilarious.
The deep character development we're looking for.
Yeah, right.
There's too many twigs in that forest for him to step on.
So Turbidus hangs tightly by Rory, and you see as he's trying to like spark a conversation with Rory, he seems very reluctant in this endeavor. Just kind of trying to keep to himself as much as Turbidus is like, "Hey, buddy, ain't that right? You're doing good up there, ain't that right, buddy? Why don't you tell me about one of those old war stories?" And he's just sitting there. Make this quick, for the love of God, as he sits in the front of the cart.
That's what she said.
So is it just me, Turbidus, and Rory, and everybody else is walking around in the woods?
Looks that way, yeah. So for the wood gang, I would like either one of you to make a perception check with advantage, or two of you can make perception checks. Your choice.
Can I use?
I want Connor and Thorim go do perception checks. I've been rolling.
Perception checks.
I'll do. I could also do a. I could do a perception check. What's your
Shut up,
perception
Brenda.
plus, Thorim?
There,
Let's see.
6.
I'm trying to find one. Here
6 on the perception roll.
Actually, you know what? I have +5 on perception. Did I roll?
I was about to say, why wouldn't you roll it?
Connor,
no, I
one
do-
more person can roll.
I'll
All right,
roll.
I'll roll.
I mean, you okay? Go ahead.
I rolled a 23.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why you need to roll.
So Raytheon, you see, as you are sort of leading this pack, trying to decipher where these footprints go exactly. You see, you have the footprints sort of tail around into a more dense area where there's some bushes and trees that cover a little more tightly than the rest. And as you are peering around, you notice around the corner that there's what appears to be some sounds of crunching and perhaps
Munching.
biting.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the Doritos?
That's what say the same. I hate you, dude.
We're not sponsored by them yet. No, hold up.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's Rotitos.
Rule can't. Get them now. You hear some unpleasant sounding noises from around this sort of grove-ish area in the snow-packed forest. And I would like each of you to make a stealth check for me.
Oh my god, stealth check?
Stealth
With
check.
plate armor? Are you kidding?
With plate armor, you have disadvantage on the stealth check. So.
Hey, 21. Thank God.
19.
Oh, that's not bad. I got a 13.
13.
11.
11, okay.
Wait, how many of you are wearing plate? 2 of you?
Me and Thorim are wearing plate armor.
Well, it's better than bowl armor.
So, as all of you hear these noises lying ahead, you quickly jolt off and sort of take quick cover in whatever you can find around. Except for Thorim, who's not quite quick enough to jump on that bandwagon.
That's realistic.
As everyone leaps to the side real quick, you see Thorim just kind of looks around. Where are you going? You kind of hear
You bastards have left me in the forest by myself, you assholes.
Pick up your
Drag
feet,
me
man.
out on your damn quest to find puppies, and then you leave me by myself.
Find puppies.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my goodness.
Thorim, you hear the sound. What sounds like growling from the other side?
Am I still hungry from the cave?
Oh yeah.
You're a bit famished to a degree.
Frostbite doesn't count as chewing.
Oh my god. DM takes another 4 points of psychic damage.
Slowly but surely, you will kill Zach.
Oh,
Surely I will just fade away.
That's it. The whole map just disappears. We're standing in the abyss. Right now, we're stuck in purgatory.
We made it to the astral plane.
That's it.
Now, the astral plane comes at another point, not when the DM dying.
It's certainly not in the forest of wolves.
The DM dies, you're sent to the 9 hells.
Oh, great. All 9, or do I have to pick one?
You go to the deepest layer possible. You go to the frosty layer. So, as you hear this growling around the corner from these bushes, you hear the bushes rustle, and you see a few heads pop out around, kind of like as they all these like wolf heads pop out and start just staring at you and growling at you. And their mouths and their fur around their head is all covered in blood and sort of roughed up. You see one of them has like a slash across the abdomen, and there's like a trail of blood that's kind of tracked from the bush into this sort of grove-ish area.
Can I roll for intimidation?
What do? How do you intimidate the wolves?
Start screaming with glowing eyes and shit. I don't know.
He takes his halo off, twirls it around his fingers.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check. Sure.
All right, let's see. Roll for intimidation, and I get 13.
13. Okay. Give me your best Thorim roar. You see their hair just immediately bolts up, and they just sprint off into the forest from that roar as your eyes glow.
Nice.
Your roar.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I'm so happy we didn't have to kill those wolves, man.
I have my quarterstaff clutch too, man.
You're just behind the corner, Connor, just like, come on, I dare you.
Right?
Jump out.
Like, do I gotta save this man?
Your roar is enough to send them fleeing, scurrying off. And you see in the grove ahead of you, there's this good sized patch of red pooled snow. There appears to be what looks like maybe the remainders of a humanoid, and a bloodied satchel as well as sort of.
Can I loot that? Can I like look through the satchel?
I knew you were gonna jump at
No
that.
respect for
I
the
knew you
dead.
were gonna jump at that, man.
Immediately goes rifling through.
I'll just shake it. Can I shake that satchel around a little?
It's quite bloody, yeah, but I mean, if you want to, sure.
He needs the gold to buy a new camera.
So you find inside. Just a moment. Okay. You find 11 gold pieces inside,
Yeah, buddy.
as well as. Let me just get this real quick.
Who's still with me?
Yeah.
I think we're all still
So
with
the
you, aren't we?
No,
Flamboyant's not with us.
Flamboyant and Turbidus are in the cart.
Yeah, Flamboyant's just
All
chilling.
right, yeah.
I'm just
So I
straight
take-
chilling.
So those 11 gold pieces, I want to give two to Thorim, 2 to Rune, 2 to Connor, and I'll keep whatever's remaining after that.
Hey.
Nice.
Respect.
Suck it, dwarf.
Respect. Two.
If I could find it, I'd suck it.
As well as inside, you find looks like a small, very heavy, sort of lead box. It's maybe about
Yeah, buddy, I love lead
this,
boxes.
maybe
Big
about
lead box guy.
this wide and this tall, maybe.
All right. Is
Is
it square or rectangular?
Rectangular.
Is it locked? Is it unlocked or what?
What you can see,
Is it clear? Yeah, exactly.
it looks like it
Rectangle is a square.
looks like one singular piece. You can almost barely see maybe what looks like a seam around sort of what looks like 3/4 away across it.
Hey, Rune, you want to try to destroy this?
You know it. All right, let me. I pick it up and I want to try to smash it down and break it open.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
Watch it be some glass inside, man.
Attack
Oh
roll.
shit! It's gonna be a monster.
You gonna pick up and smash? I said, watch it be some glass, man.
Oh, wait, so
Are Turbidus and I in any position to see what's going on at all, or are they like hella far away?
They're pretty far away.
Okay.
what
You-
what am I attacking it with? On am I going unarmed with it because I'm trying to for
No,
the
you-
attack?
It's up to you.
Okay, well obviously I'm gonna I'm gonna smack it with the battle axe then.
Okay.
So
Go ahead and make
all
an
right,
attack
so
roll with the battle axe.
we got
Man, if you listen, if you break it, you buy it, man.
I got a 17.
17. Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
I got a 10.
10. So you sort of slam down on this tiny lead box, and as your large weapon slams against the lead box, you see that it nicks the lead, and then it chips your weapon.
Chipped my battle axe?
Yep.
No, it's a good thing I got a bunch of them somewhere.
Still usable, but it chips the blade.
Well, we
of
got
the
a protection plan on that axe.
I think I got apple care on it.
You're still gonna have to pay a deductible, but at least it won't be 4,000 gold. You know?
all right, so that doesn't work. Can I? All right, so I smash it down. And I smash it down. And I look at it, and it chips my axe. And I look at the box, and I pick it up, and I try to. I shake it, and I try to see if I can hear anything on the inside of it.
You do actually hear something on the inside.
Is it
Wait.
metallic or?
You said there's a seam on it though, right? But there's no lock on it.
Maybe a very slight seam, but it's hard to tell, really.
So
So
slight,
it's a slight seam. Can I?
use, like, a
Yeah.
perception roll to like see if there's a better way to open this?
Can you, like pry it some like it put something in the seam and pry it open.
Wait, before anybody else does anything, can I cast Detect Magic to see if this is magically sealed?
You can, just a moment. When you shake the box, you do hear something on the inside. It sounds like numerous things on the inside.
Is it
so,
magic?
so there's several. So there's several things on the inside.
Yeah, several
Uh,
things on the inside.
I have an idea too. So there's a mangled body that we took this from, right?
Mhm.
Hold on.
Can we like inspect this guy's body to like get a little bit better of a sense of like, is he from Kalingam and covered in virus, or like
Body
is he very
is,
clearly
like, the body's ripped apart, basically.
nothing like on his clothing doesn't give away who he is anyway?
Like it's just scattered everywhere. Like the wolves were eating the body.
Was there
So
a mask anywhere on the ground?
We know he was delicious, so that could help.
What's delicious?
And nutritious.
All right, back to the box.
All right, so I tried to smash it with my battle axe. I nicked it, but I damaged my battle axe. There's a slight seam in it, and when I shake it, I could hear that there's stuff on the inside.
So you're
Mhm.
shaking it. Okay.
Okay.
It's a slight seam.
Maybe
And it's
Do that-
Well, here's the thing. Can I use a dart to kind of poke through the seam and pry it open?
yes. So you sort of take the dart and you sort of try and wedge it into the seam, and as you go to pry it open, you feel like it's not quite opening, almost like it continues to push down against the dart, even though there looks to be a firm sort of a decent wedge inside the seam.
Okay.
Like it continuously pushes down. Raytheon, you cast Detect Magic on the box. It is magical. There is you know that there is enchantment magic used on it.
Is there any markings on
Man, I
the
wasted
box?
spells.
Are there any markings on the box, or is it just
No
a
markings, just a smooth lead box.
smooth lead box?
So
How
guys,
heavy- how heavy is it?
I think we got a magic paperweight on our hands. Maybe want to carry on?
So for being a lead box, surprisingly not that heavy. And when you shake it, it's interesting. It sounds like the multiple objects maybe sounds like wood, But then as you sort of shake it more, you can't make a perception check actually.
Perception check.
Yeah.
All of us, or
Just Rune.
19.
19. It's weird. It sounds like cards.
Cards. Oh, we're playing Magic.
it's Magic the Gathering. I knew it.
Oh gosh.
Oh, we found somebody's mana deck.
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Let's relax.
Oh boy, it's a Charizard.
Pokemon.
Okay.
That's what you can kind of determine.
I say we
Fine.
take the,
So,
I
fine.
think we should take the box
we take
with
the
us
box
and go
back,
back
yeah.
to the cards.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sorry. I take the box. I put it in my satchel or my bag, whatever
Okay.
I have on me.
All right. So you now have that tucked away safely.
There was nothing else on the guy before we leave, right?
Nope, nothing else.
There were no other bodies or anything anywhere.
No, he looks like he was trying to get away from something, perhaps.
Any other animals?
Did he come
around
from the
that-
same direction we found him in, or
You're not sure what direction he came in.
isn't there like a trail of blood?
Yeah, but it mostly started with the wolves, where they sort of probably caught him on course and dragged him back.
Okay.
Guys, I got a box guy in Kalingam. He's gonna love this thing. I think we should carry on.
Dolingum.
Got a box guy.
Bobby Box is over here.
When they get
Yeah,
back
Bobby
to
Boxala.
when they get back to the cart,
Mhm.
would my stone cutting work on that, or is it because it's made of lead? It won't.
Because it's made of lead in this case, it won't work exactly.
Gotcha.
So when you get back, Rory just warming up in with his cloak and his sort of bedspread from the back. They pulled up to use like a pseudo blanket, waiting for you guys patiently. Turbidus is just chatting away endlessly to Rory, who looks half asleep, and Flamboyant's just sitting stone cold, quite literally, in the back waiting menacingly, as the rest of you all return with your spoils. So Rory-
I give him a gold piece. I give Flamboyant a gold piece.
okay.
What'd you do to get this?
I flick it at him like kind of passive aggressively. I'm like, should have came, and I flick him a gold piece.
Did you talk him to death?
So
I
Rory,
catch the gold coin in the air and flick it back to Rune and say, "It's for your new ex."
I appreciate that. I just take it and slip it slightly into my breastplate while locking eyes with Flamboyant.
I look at Thorim and go, they have something going on.
Clearly.
You have to be blind not to see it.
You don't have to roll perception on that.
As the adventure carries on for you guys, though, and after your minor sort of escapade along the side of the road, the cart carries back on, and as the snow slowly begins to melt on a couple hours that move on ahead, the snow fades away, the climate becomes quite warmer again. Luckily for everyone at this point, after basically freezing your asses off for quite some time now. It's good to be back in the warm weather again. And as the path winds ahead onto more of like a dirt path, you eventually, after some more time, more towards the evening at this point, you see now that lies ahead is a sort of a smaller looking village, not quite as large as Iron Gate, with a stone wall, a relatively small looking gate, couple guards posted out front, and the gate is currently closed, with some surrounding buildings that are sort of wooden and raggedy, with the fabric worn and the wood splintered and sort of mossy at this point. And as you guys begin to approach, you see Rory turns back. We've arrived. Be on your best behavior now. Let's get in and get the fuck out.
Rory, I literally forgot you were here.
I know. I'm sure you did. So as you guys progress towards the gate, you see that there are 2 men standing guard in pretty crappy chainmail with these pikes that you could maybe say in a way almost you feel like they're pretending to play guard as like teenagers.
Have I ever been here before? Because we're not too far from like where I'm from. Ostensibly, maybe I've been here.
You haven't been here, but you know of the place.
I know this place, guys. I haven't been here, but I know the place.
You see that there's the 2 guards as the cart approaches, they kind of extend their arm out to you. Hold, please. As you approach, Rory just kind of sits back in the front of the cart. What? You gonna let us through or what? And they kind of look at each other and they look back up at all of you. What are you doing here? What are all of you doing here? Mind explaining your business? No?
None of your fucking business.
It is quite my business because I'm the one who lets you in through the gate. So it quite literally is my
charisma and
business.
tell them that we're here on official business.
And you see Rory kind of looks back to you, flamboyant. He goes, "What? Shut up!" He turns back to them. "Forgive this one. We are here on behalf of Duke Horatio from Irongate. We are delivering wheat and barley at his behest. Just let us the fuck through. You know who I am at this point." And they kind of turn to each other. All right, on behest of Duke Horatio of Irongate. Right, all right then. And they kind of like, one of them pulls out a little like notepad and starts scribbling down with a quill. They point to everyone. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? State all of your businesses. As they go, all right, everybody, line up. This is for
Line up, everybody line up.
This is for purposes of our Duke and for safe entry, single file. I will be taking account of every single person here. You see Rory hops off the cart, gets to the front. So Roy Roxford, Irongate, Imperial Army, let me the fuck through. And they're like, right, sir, off you go. You see they open the gate, and he walks through, and then they like sort of null back together. Who wants to go first in line?
Hi, I'm Thor.
So they look at you in your plate mail and they go, one of them holding up the pen and paper. All right, name?
Thorim Shadowsbane.
Thorim Shadowsbane. And
That's one of me.
One of the guards smacks him. He goes, "That's not how you spell Shadowsbane, you fucking moron." The other one goes, "I'm trying my best. What does it matter? You can pronounce it." The other one goes, "No, you can't. You can hardly say it. It looks like Bane. That's not how you say his name. It's Shadowsbane. Oh, who cares? I can pronounce it. I'm taking the notes." The other one, for God's sake. And writes down and looks at you, Thorim. Occupation?
Paladin.
Looks down. Paladin? What kind of fucking occupation is that? All right, then. Of what god?
The light dudes.
The light dudes, right on. Good one.
Rock on.
I thought you said the white dudes.
Why I thought it was the white dudes? I was like, white dudes.
Jeez. All right. God, the light dudes. Great. Never heard that one before. I'm sure you're in a cult. Good to know. Where do you live?
Everywhere. I'm a traveler.
Everywhere and
Oh,
nowhere.
so that's your occupation. You're an adventurer. Why didn't you just come out and say that first? Just could have saved us all this time.
Because
Mr.
I'm more
Paladin of the Light
proud of being a
Dudes.
paladin than anything.
Adventurer. Good to know. You hail from, I'm assuming, Stormfell, because you're part of the Light Dudes. What else here do I require? Have you been ill recently?
No, just cold as shit going through that mountain pass.
Fair. Any disease that
Nope.
you're aware of?
No, but we've heard that there's disease around these lands.
Well, that's you'd be right to assume that. That's why we got to check everyone that comes in.
He does have a cold sore on his lip, though. You should check that out.
He has not been social distancing.
Well, that's not my problem. All right, let's see here. All right, Mr. Shadowsbane, go on in. You're good to go. Get on you. You walk on in. Next. Who wants to go next?
Raytheon Stromraven. I am Raytheon Stromraven. Stormravens of the Stormravens of Dry.
I say Raytheon Stromraven. How many more times are you going to tell me Raytheon Stromraven of the Stormravens of Drywood? Ain't that great?
I just want to make sure you got it.
That's right, Mr. Famous. You come from some famous lineage from the Wood Elf packs down southeast. I get it. You're trying to flaunt your nobility and your status, but it's not going to work here. Not here, it won't.
No problem.
Because we check every single person that comes in. All right, Raytheon, Stromraven, Raytheon of Drywood, where do you reside from? And the other guard to the side of him smacks him on the shoulder. He just fucking said he's from Drywood. Oh, that's right. Drywood. That's not how you spell Drywood either. What are you talking about? I know how to say it. That's not the point. All right, Raytheon Stromraven of Drywood. What do you do? What is your occupation?
I dabble in buying and selling goods. For instance, if you have 5 friends that might be interested in purchasing some potions I produce, you could really start turning over a profit.
Is that so?
All I need is like 20 minutes of your time and maybe 5 of your friends. If they could bring a few friends, we can get something rolling.
I can't quite say I have 5 friends alive at the moment, but I'm sure I can muster up 5 people if you come visit me afterwards.
Noted.
Raytheon Stromraven of Drywood. Occupation. Trader. No, that's not right. Herbalist? No, that's not right. Let's see. Artist, and the other one smacks him. Just write down that he's a fucking trader. All right. Trader.
Pyramid schemer?
All right, Mr. Stromraven.
Take my business leave. Give me a call.
Business leave.
To write down he's a fucking prat.
All right, Raytheon Stromraven of Drywood, fucking prat. Thank you, sir. You may go on in now.
Thank you.
Next up. Oh, I forgot to ask if you have any disease. Oh, well, not my problem at this point. Through the gate. Next.
I guess as I put my quarterstaff in my back, man, I walk up to you slowly, man, and say, Connor. That's all I need to know is Connor.
Right. Connor. And you see he looks you over carefully. Hobgoblin.
Is something wrong?
No, just not many quite like you around here, that's for certain.
And of course, man. Most of my people died.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. There's not many, lots of people are dying in here as well, so I guess you'll fit right on in with us. Connor. Last name, not my business. Very well. What's your occupation, Connor?
I have no occupation.
Occupation.
Unemployed.
Loser. Wonderful.
I'm just like clenching my quarterstaff, like, do I dare hit him?
All right, let's see. Connor, where do you hail from?
I just wander about. I have no home.
Very well then. Hails from fuck all. Right? And the other guard smacks him. Be official. This is official paper that goes to the Duke. What are you talking about? Write down where he's from. Nowhere. The other one. I'm trying my best, all right? I'm new to this. Leave me alone. Fuck off. All right. Connor, Mr. Connor, not my business. Hails from nowhere. Occupation. What do you do?
Well, I'm trying to right the wrongs. That's all I can say.
Like an Avenger. That's pretty cool. I like that. Occupation, Avenger. Gonna keep that down in the books now. Very
Don't
nice.
make a movie series.
What
Not
that happened?
those Avengers. They're a bunch of twats.
Except Thor, because
All right, Connor. First name Connor. Last name Avenger. Welcome, Mr. Avenger. Another one. Official business. Oh, all right, Mr. Avenger. Any diseases? Any poison recently? Any illnesses? Anything along those lines?
Listen, we all die soon enough, man. That's all we got to know. We
Fair
all die
point.
soon enough.
Head on in. You're good to go. Farewell, Mr. Avenger. Until we meet again, I hope you right the wrongs of those who wronged you. Next.
To the dwarf.
Just kind of looking up at both of you awkwardly. Next.
All right, let's get this the fuck over with.
All right, mighty forward of you. And let's see here. That's interesting. Where are you from?
Fucking mountains.
All right. Well, name unknown yet. Hails from fucking mountains.
That's right.
What's your name?
Flamboyant Wizard. You need help spelling it?
Try to spell that.
I'm sorry, repeat that one more time for me.
Need help spelling it, you dumb fuck.
No.
Hard of hearing too.
Your name.
Can't write, can't hear.
Your name. What's your name?
Flamboyant Wizard.
Get a load of this. His name's Flamboyant.
I'm gonna draw my axe real quick and place it against his neck.
Oh.
I yell over the fence. It's not a him.
What's that? He kind of looks around. All right. My apologies, Mr. Wizard.
Mrs., you dumb fuck. You're blind too?
Apparently, I'm sorry. Mrs. Wizard.
Fucking better.
Boy, and wizard. Occupation.
Fucking kill dumb fucks like you.
What do I put for that? I don't fucking know. Just write something down. Wizard. Killer. Good.
Wizard
Tales from the fucking mountains. Very good. Come across any disease, illnesses?
Just these fucks I'm traveling with.
Fair enough. Head on in. All right then. And lastly, there seems to be. See, Turbidus is like just waiting around. No, don't mind me. Don't mind me. What's a tiefling doing here? I don't fucking know. What's with this party? I have no idea. What a bunch of weirdos. Fair enough. That's not my problem. All right then, Mr. Big Pants here. Name?
Rune.
Rune. Very nice. Your mother give you that, or your father give you that?
The guys who found me gave me that name after my parents were killed.
Right. Washed up on a shore. A stork must have carried you in. Fun. All right. Rune. Last name?
I wasn't given one.
You weren't given no family name?
I don't know who my family is. As I said, they were killed. The only thing I have left of my father is the sword I keep on my side.
Well, that's quite metal. Very nice. Let's see. Rune. Last name. I'm going to come up with one for you. Give it some time. It'll come to me. Hails from?
They found me in Thunder. What's up north? What's again?
Thundermar.
Thundermar. Yeah, they found me in Thundermar. That's where I'm from as of right now.
Found you in Thundermar. All right. Let's see. Hails from Fuck all. Right? Occupation.
I'm a sword for hire.
You? Sword for hire?
Well, I'm 6 foot, 290 pounds. I can crush your throat with my 2 pinkies.
I heard about you. I know that face.
There's no way you heard about me. That's absolutely wrong. You're mistaken.
He kind of
Absolutely mistaken.
He looks to the guard. Is that him? The other one. You know, I don't know. You know, hold up. Let me just. And you see, he just like holds a hand up.
Before he says anything, I grab him by the throat and lift him 3 feet off the ground and say, "You sure you think you know me?"
So the guy with the pencil, and you grab him and hold him up. He's, you know, I think I'm starting to see the face now. You please let me go, sir.
And real quickly, I climb up Raytheon's back and I yell, "A fucking halfling!"
Oh, that's right. I remember the face from. Please put me down, sir.
I put him down slowly.
Oh, wow. I remember that face now. Yeah, of course I remember the face. You're the one I heard about from Iron Gate, from the festival. That's right. You put on a hell of a performance. You're going to be famous one day, lad. Don't take it personal. Rune, occupation, strong man. Have you come across any disease? Have you been ill? Blah, blah, blah.
I've been ill ever since I've seen this dwarf, but other than that, I've been fine.
Fair. Illness.
Kisser!
Dwarfism.
Cancer? Who said cancer?
I said kisser.
I said cancer.
I squeeze Raytheon's throat because I'm standing on his shoulders.
All right, Mr. Rune, head on in. You're good to go. And lastly, we have a Asmar. Celestial. Right. The guard. Right. Asma. Okay. Right. I see what you're saying now. And Turbidus is like, yeah. See, guys, someone gets it. Right? Right. What's your name? And he goes, Turbidus. Right. Turbidus. Surname? That's a good question. I don't think I have one. Right. I don't think I have one. Great. Hails from... oh, that's right. Alormantal. You're from the desert? Yeah, I'm from the desert. Is there a problem with that? Right. Freaks. Okay. Hails from the desert. Occupation. He kind of looks around. Adventure. Right. To the point. Adventure. Have you? And he goes, no disease, no illness, other than people mistaking me. Right, Mr. Asma. Good one. He kind of, Turbidus looks back to all of you. They got it! Right, Mr. Asma, you're good to go. Head on through the gates. Well done, everyone. That just about does it. Welcome to Killingam. Try not to die within 24 to 48 hours. Good day! And the gate closes on you all. So Rory looks to all of you and just... Well, I suppose we should get moving now. I'm sure the Duke is waiting. So you guys sort of trudge on ahead, moving a little forward through the town. You see that it is very barren. A lot of the houses are sort of blockaded and bordered up and barred from entry by a lot of the folks that live there, whoever does. It's a very desolate sort of area. The few people that do dare walk through the streets at this point are all looking at you very shocked and curiously. definitely some interest in that. Someone is daring to maneuver these streets.
Are they socially distancing?
I point to the crew and I say essential workers.
Essential workers.
We're basically DoorDash at this point.
So as you guys are sort of moving on ahead and getting these interesting looks, you come across something that's definitely sticks out amidst the rest of the town, where there is a large estate that is sort of like the center of the town. Surrounding the perimeter of this house is very fine, sort of caged steel gate and fence. Inside, you see around 6 guards surrounding the perimeter, and then on the top floor, there's a balcony where you see 1 guard watching. Out front, there are 2 guards sort of manning this gate that you guys are standing before you. Rory approaches the gate. You see him just tell you guys to hold back for a couple minutes as he maneuvers on ahead, and you see that he approaches these guards and they talk, they converse for a few moments, and they give a nod. The gates open up, they give a signal, and you see 4 guards come out and approach the sort of the wagons that you guys have where the wheat and barley are located. You see they look to you, they look to him, and he motions for you guys to come through. And as the giant steel gates are open, the double wooden doors to the manor as well are open. And as you guys trudge on through, you come into a space that is in a way, it is different from the rest, where it is sort of like a beacon of light in this dark, desolate area. You see the lot less sort of garish than what Duke Horatio's manor looks like. This is more of refined colors, a not very disgusting, ugly-looking color palette of purple and gold. More sort of muted colors, yet at the same time elegant in a way as it all sort of works together. And there are a couple of portraits hanging around with one singular staircase leading up to the 2nd floor, and a large foyer area. You see as a butler rushes forward towards you and greets you all. Oh, yes, hello, everyone. How are you doing today? I have been foretold that you would be arriving shortly on behest of Sir Rory here and of Duke Horatio of Irongate. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Are you the guy that's going to give us the mead?
What is that? I'm sorry.
I said, do you have any mead?
I not currently. However, there is a tavern right down the road. You could perhaps pay a visit to that they could assist you with.
This isn't the guy we want.
I look at Connor and ask if we should kill him. Should we kill this guy?
I'm just gonna walk out of here and go to the tavern, man. This is wasting my time.
Wait! The Duke is expecting you. What are you doing?
Well, how do you not greet us with any mead? What type of
hospitality
is this?
I am not your butler. I am the Duke's butler.
I mean, the Duke's butler is kind of our butler when it boils down to it. You butler on behalf of the Duke.
We're the
Duke's
guests of the Duke. So.
My taxes pay for your buttling.
What taxes? There are no taxes here at the
All right,
moment.
so you don't get any mead. I understand. What do you have for us to drink? Because we are parched.
You just hear, gentlemen, there's been a terrible misunderstanding. As you see,
yeah, there's no mead.
Walking
Exactly
across the top, sort of leaning over the railing, you see a gentleman, looks like he's in his 40s, sort of a sort of short brown beard, slick back brown hair, in finer robes, silk, navy, and silver robes. He sort of leans over the rail. I take it you all must be from Irongate, by the sounds of it.
Only the jails of Iron Gate, but sure.
Wonderful. Exactly what I'm expecting. Come on up. Come on up. Rory, you old bastard. You're still kicking it around. Come on up. And the butler kind of looks at all of you and just steps to the side and scurries on off immediately. Rory steps on ahead and goes up the staircase. Do you guys follow behind?
Yep.
Can I like watch where the butler runs? Like, does he just clearly run out of the room, or is there like
He runs to the side, stands, and then just waits, like stands still like a statue.
Got it.
But you guys follow him up, and you enter this large, sort of circular room. A couple of bookshelves to the side. Nice rug on the floor. Big wooden desk made of more of a dark wood with some paper scattered across. What looks like a scale, maybe an abacus, for God knows what reason in this place. Maybe for the decoration. There's a couple large windows in the back that have a view of the rest of the village. And as you guys enter the room, you see a portrait of this man that you are following, sort of hanging over the side of the room, amidst some other smaller portraits hung there as well, of a woman and a couple of children.
I turn to Rune and in Dwarvish because he speaks it with me, and I don't want anyone else to understand me except maybe the dwarfs can obviously pay attention. But I look at Rune and I go, "Funny joke about the mead, considering we're literally delivering mead."
I respond with, "Yeah, but apparently he doesn't know that." All in Dwarvish.
Makes me wonder if it's actually mead, doesn't it?
I don't think this has been mead at all. I think we're set up. Nothing. This whole thing doesn't smell right to me.
Look at this rug, gorgeous rug. It's got to be home goods.
Let's take the rug. You want to take the rug?
We should probably take the rug.
Really ties the room together.
Pissed on you. He pissed on your rug.
Me and Rune look directly at Thorim and go, "You understood all that?"
I think I do speak Dwarvish.
Either way, you just saw us looking at the rug. You saw us looking at the rug, and that was the first thing that popped into your head.
My character was absolutely bored and only just finally snapped back in and hears all the Dwarvish and just says, "What the fuck you two talking about?"
I look over at him. I go, "Mind your business, dwarf."
So the Duke looks out the window for a minute, looks out at his people, and turns around to you. "So, welcome to the what is now the bustling shithole at Iron Gate. My name is Duke Wexford. It's a pleasure to be of your service."
For the record, I do speak Dwarvish.
Are you saying that to the? Are you saying that to the Duke? Or to
No, just as a note. I speak Dwarvish.
Oh,
So,
man.
That's so funny.
Right? As you are. Well then. I would like to say thanks to you gentlemen for journeying through the mountain pass. It was a bit of a tough journey, I can imagine, for both of you. For all of you, however, it is much obliged. Our town is currently falling apart because of this plague that's afflicted us. And
Have you thought about like trying to prevent the spread of the plague?
You know, it's a lot easier said than done. I've been trying to contain as many people as I can within the city walls. Perhaps my guards need more training on that. Can't say much, but they should have been instructed of your entry. I'm hoping they let you in relatively smoothly.
Not too bad. They didn't take my temperature, but we're good. They also looked pretty young. Are they new to their post?
Yeah, for the most part, they're the only healthy ones currently available to take post like that.
Is it harder to catch when you're younger?
Not precisely. Before we discuss those endeavors further, I'd like to thank you all for finally making your way out here, delivering this, and well, when this all blows over, hopefully our economy can bustle again with all of this, these crops. It's much obliged.
I have a big smile on my face and just slowly reach out one hand, like palm open, kind of expecting a gift.
Looks at your hand, extends it out, and just looks back up at you. You see he extends his hand out to you and grabs your hand for a shake. Right.
I lean forward. I lean forward to Raytheon and I whisper to him in Dwarvish. I say, "We're totally taking the rug now."
I pull my hand back very, very fast. Immediately start ruffling to try to find something to clean my hands because he just touched my hands.
I was gonna say, Dwarvish, make sure you clean your hands.
I'm frantically trying to find something to clean my hands in my pouch, and I have nothing.
And I kind of say to myself, where the fuck are these morons learning Dwarvish?
I'm right next to Flamboyant. I'm like, I'm with you, dude. I don't know what the hell to say.
Right, well. You young lads seem as if you're a bit strapped for cash now. Is that so?
Aye.
Could always use a bit of coin.
Given the points to Raytheon, the gesture that was expected. I don't quite have coin prepared for you at the moment, given that the Duke was to see your deeds be dealt with for your troubles that had occurred prior. But that is not the point for you being here after all. It is not my problem. It really shouldn't be your problem as well. So, gentlemen, would you like to make some coin?
What do we have to do?
Yep.
I'm glad you asked me that question. So, as you know, we have a bit of a big problem here going on.
Dramatic music.
Given the circumstances with that, and overall, the problems we're experiencing, I've sort of come up with a bit of a theory as to what's causing it. And I think if you gentlemen would be interested in solving this, perhaps I could reward you, rightfully so. You see, recently, our farmers' crops have been getting raided. And by some orcs that sort of popped up out of nowhere for the most part. They started raiding the fields and sort of, killing our people, if you would, and taking all the crops and all the glory for themselves and running back with their tail between their legs. They've also been ruining our crop fields, for the matter, which is not ideal. My theory, the only real expectation for this at this point, is that they caused this. Given how the plague has, the flux rather, has struck Pillingam shortly after their arrival and their pillaging began, we obviously can't really defend ourselves very much anymore because of this situation, and because I don't have any more guards to spare, if I'm being quite honest at this point. So if you men are willing to do a little bit of dirty work,
And woman.
We'll do a little bit of dirty work, sort of greasing your blades a little bit, if you would, perhaps there could be some coin involved in it.
How many orcs typically attack your village?
Well, I've seen as many as 8, perhaps, but no more than that from what I've seen. But it doesn't really require much effort to take our unfortunately feebled, weakened villagers.
Can we train the villagers?
Well, not exactly. given how most of them are shaken up by the plague, and most of them are too weak to do anything besides farm and fuck off at this point.
Sir Duke Ruxford, question. Who's the man in the painting? I'm trying to create a diversion rune to see if you could roll the rug up.
The man in the painting? Oh, that's me. Can't you tell?
I can't, you know, if you look at it closely, it seems like they could have done a little better on the cheek region. You have very, very pronunciated cheeks, and I worry that the artist didn't capture it.
Quit looking at his fucking arse.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Oh man.
Oh shit. That's a solid 3.
3. He just raises an eyebrow and he goes, "Well, my wife painted that, so perhaps when she's recovered from this, you can go ahead and tell her that she could do a better job of my painting."
Will definitely do. Did Rune get the rug?
Given how 1, it didn't work, and 2, it's pretty much the entire size of the room.
In my bag. I'm just sitting there slowly trying to slide it in.
Step off the rug.
I'm just sitting there like making eye contact with Thorim. I'm like trying to get him like nudge to move over a little bit.
No one really bothered to ask the size of this rug, and it was pretty much the size of the room.
Rune's got like the corner of it like stuffed in his pocket.
He's just trying to roll it up, like he runs the corner of the room. He's just trying to roll it up, and the Duke is just staring back at you. Or you're like,
it's a nice rug.
Can I? All right, so can I? He looks at me and I'm trying, and I look. I'm like, yeah, I'm just joking. You know, I really don't want the rug. But anyway, back to.
We'll steal the one from the tavern.
I'm still. So I go up to the Duke and I want to ask him. I want to do I want to use some persuasion to see if he's telling the truth or if there's anything else that he's not telling us.
That would be insight.
Insight, there you go.
If you want to check his body language to see if he's bullshitting you or not.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I want to do an insight check. Insight. That is an 18.
18?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to really be reserving anything from you. He looks kind of like a man who's kind of desperate at this point for anything, any help.
So, how much is he paying us in general?
He hasn't told you yet.
Ask him, Connor.
It's a bit of a dangerous task, if you would, but for men willing to go out and women willing to go out and take on this, could be a handsome feat for you all.
We'll do it with one stipulation.
Oh, here it comes.
The butler joins us.
I thought he was going to ask for the rug. Want the rug.
I'm sorry, but Gerald isn't quite much of a fighter. He doesn't. He's quite old as well.
We don't need another extra body to have to carry back, so I think we should leave him behind. And we don't know if he's sick. We don't need him giving
We'll do this under one different stipulation. If we succeed, we don't have to go back to Iron Gate. You will send word to Duke Horatio telling him of our successes, because I'm not going back to that shithole and sitting in that drunk tank again.
Make a persuasion check.
Come on, persuasion.
16 plus 17.
17? He gives you a curious look. All right. If you come back successfully, cure this plague from my village, sure. That's fine with me.
Mr. Duke of Earl.
Duke of Earl.
Yes.
Will you be paying each of us per head?
Per head. Well,
Because while I'm out there killing all 8 of these orcs, I don't know what these other folks will be doing.
per head, you say?
We'll be stealing the rug.
The rug will be mine. I whispered to Thorim in you speak Celestial, right, Rob?
I do.
I speak to you in Celestial. I go, the rug will be ours.
Look at you like, speak common, please.
Poor Connor.
Yeah, you only speak Hobgoblin, right?
Yes.
Maybe one day Connor will learn another language.
Yeah, it's the first thing he's got to do.
Give me that book, Celestial for Dummies, man. I'll be good.
Right. Well, per head, I don't necessarily know if I want you to bring those heads back into the village, given their potential for disease. But assuming you kill them, you come back, and the flux is cured. 50 gold a head.
What proof do you require?
50 gold I meant for each of you. As he points on the line, 50, 50, 50, 50.
Sweet.
Nah, wait, hold on.
I want 50
I'm walking up to you, I'm
orc
like,
head.
listen. Bump it up to 75.
I think you're confusing what per head means.
Make an intimidation check, Connor.
Oh, man, I want more against intimidation check. Here we go. Intimidation. You mother 6.
6. He's kind of like, well, I mean, if I had more to give, I would, but this is the last of the funds we have here in Killingham. For the time being, I've been giving up all of my riches and wealth back to the people for them to try and survive. So what I'm giving you is my final plea for help in saving our people.
How about the
That's all
meat?
I have to offer. Meat? I have. Listen, there's a tavern right across the street there. You tell the owner there. I'm sure he'll give you free mead for now.
Well, we're sitting on a whole fuck ton.
I know you have wheat and barley, not mead.
Shit. Ah, barley. That was mead this whole time.
It's like uncooked mead. We have raw mead.
You have raw mead.
I would have been drinking that on the way here.
Raw mead.
And meanwhile, Turbidus' pockets are overflowing with the bread he's constantly been stealing.
He kind of looks around. I can listen. Put in a good word. He'll give you free drinks for now, but like as I mentioned, this is all I can afford for the time being.
And we want unlimited free mead tokens when we come back for the rest of our lives.
I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, from a father whose son is dying from a plague, the last of my lineage, please save my people and my son.
I reach out holding my notebook and a pen, and very crudely written down, I have basically like the terms of the contract that he just agreed to. We ain't going back to Iron Gate. 50 gold ahead.
50 gold, yeah.
And I asked him. I basically asked him to sign it without saying anything.
I thought y'all put the rug in it too.
The rug. He also says, "P.S. The rug."
Yes, the rug.
P.S. The rug is coming.
He looks at your journal and he looks at the quill and he goes, "The rug."
It's non-negotiable. I'm sorry.
I walk over, put my hand on his shoulder, and I look him in the eye and I say, "Yeah, the rug."
I'll have a new one fabricated for you. How about that? Brand
Even
new.
better. No foot stains.
No foot stains, no moving. Wonderful.
You've got yourself a deal. I sign my side. I hand it to him.
And I want it blue with gold frills.
He signs it, closes it, hands you the journal. Return
Close
to
the
me.
deal, Rico.
The orcs are dead, and the plague is cured.
Oh, so we have to cure the plague as well?
That's what I mentioned from the beginning. I'm
So how are
sure
we
killing
supposed to
these
do
orcs.
that?
What are we,
We have-
doctors?
Killing these orcs are the reason behind this. Is my
Yeah, but once they die, it doesn't. It's not like a curse where it just gets lifted.
We don't know.
It'll
Could be.
prevent them.
It's like Beauty and the Beast, man.
I can't listen. This is what I hired you for. We now have a contract. So
no one noticed I stepped away and I returned to the meeting with a mug of mead in my hand.
I look at you like, where'd you get that, man?
Well, and then woman, best of luck. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care now. So Rory, would you mind staying behind with me?
We all sort of look at each other like not sure if we're supposed to leave the room yet, but no one's moving, even him.
Yes, you may go. You may go. So Rory, please stay with me. I'd like to have a quick conversation if you would.
You got a fucking terrible butler.
And he waves you off because you guys are good to go.
Can we snoop in the like foyer room that was leading up to the room we were in?
Sure. What do you want to look for?
I'm looking around just generally for like
another rug.
Yeah, more rugs.
Raytheon is a pure thief.
Well, are there any books on the shelf? Does he have any cool plants, pottery?
Tapestries that match the rug.
Curtains.
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 We have many tapestries.
There's there are some portraits. There's some
Any portraits I recognize? Anybody of interest?
No, most of the Duke's family looks like.
All right, so we take it anyway.
Still a portrait of his great grandmother.
Put that on your list too. Put that on the list.
Nothing really of interest though.
All right, I'm satisfied.
All right. So you guys, you want to head over to the tavern?
Yep.
Yes.
Is there any other buildings like? What else is on this block? Any like stores or markets that are open?
There's a very small general store, but it's boarded up currently. You would assume from the plague that
Right, no toilet paper.
Right, exactly. There you go.
Noted.
But so you guys exit the Duke's Manor and make your way over to the tavern across the road. Tavern name for that, just if anyone cares.
I care.
Real quick.
The bartender and I lock eyes, and I say, "Fill it up again."
Hold up, here it is. A lot of files to go through. Any second now.
A third one, barkeep.
So the tavern is called Any Second now.
It's called the Lindlewell.
Lindlewell.
The Lindlewell.
Question: Is there a weaponsmith around here?
You do hear the clanging of a blacksmith in the distance. Yeah.
I'm a smith.
Ooh.
Can I go over there and I don't know? Let me see like if they have anything of interest as far as maybe extra darts, maybe
I'll take the walk with you. I want to go get my battle axe fixed.
I want to take a walk. Maybe we'll grab a little coffee on the way.
So for you guys that are going to the blacksmith, as you go to the blacksmith, you see there's an older gentleman, not a lot of hair, who's rugged looking, sort of almost soot-covered skin. His hair is practically burnt off his arms from being around the forge as he's hanging away on an anvil with a hammer on some molten hot steel, and he looks over to you. Hi there! What can I get for you? Not many visitors around here often now.
Question for you, sir.
Aye.
Any experience with lead? Perhaps making slightly sealed lead boxes.
Lead.
Slightly sealed lead boxes.
Typically, lead is used for something that's magical by nature, used to prevent that from getting out somehow. Can't quite work with lead, unfortunately, since it typically tends to contain that magical essence in it. I would advise trying to mess around with it for now until you find a wizard capable enough of opening that up.
What about a flamboyant wizard?
I'm scribbling in my journal, writing. I need to find a wizard to open the box. No,
As I look at him, I'm thinking to myself, since I have a crossbow with no arrows, do you have any arrows for sale?
Oh, I got some. What you got? A bow or a crossbow?
Yep.
Right, one of
Light
them.
crossbow.
Light crossbow. All right then. I've got some bolts for you. Let's see here. 20 bolts. 20 bolts is 1 gold piece.
I'm trying to haggle him down. 20 bullets. How about I gotta get my currency up to date. God, Jesus Christ.
Copper, silver, gold. Each is in increments of 10.
Okay.
So 10 copper is 1 silver, 10 silver is 1 gold, 10 gold is 1 platinum.
Okay. 10 silver is 1 gold. How about 5 silver then? 20 for 5.
Make a persuasion check.
You got it. Persuasion. Here we go. You mother too.
He's well, not quite much of the bargainman now, unfortunately, given how we're a little down on our luck here currently. Perhaps if you come by more often, I can offer you a discount as a returning customer, but for the time being, laddie, 1 gold piece roll for 20 bolts.
All right, yeah, I'll do that then.
Very well, here you go. And he hands you a quiver of 20 bolts.
Gotcha.
You got anything in the way of face mask? Maybe metal, preventing slappage?
A metal face mask? I could make one up for you if they're interested. Not a lot of coin, given how it's a pretty simple one to make, unless it's complex by nature, of course.
I'm gonna pass on that, and I take my battle axe out and I place it in front of him, showing him where it was damaged from me trying to open up the box, and I ask him if he can repair this for me.
Oh, that's a mighty ding there. I can repair it for you, sure. I mean, it'll be a gold for me to smith this back together. If you want, though, throw in an extra. Let's see here. I could do some modifications for it if you're interested.
Yes,
perhaps.
Of course, I'd be interested in modifications.
Interesting. All right, let's see. Well, I could possibly silver this weapon if you're interested.
How much would that cost?
How much coin you got to work with?
That's not what I asked.
You seem to be a little down on your luck with this here. You seem to be the types that are making a deal. I'm offering a deal. How much coin you have to work with?
How about, since you're such the entrepreneurial person here, how about I just give you 1 coin and you throw in the silver as a good deed?
Right, laddie. Right. Perhaps next time then. Give me the gold. I'll fix this up for you. If you decide you want the silver in the future, it's 100 gold pieces. All right.
Man.
What is silver good for? Like, what would the benefit of silver be?
Silvering it, basically, it would help with specific enemies. Could help
specific enemies. Okay.
With beasts or different types of maybe fiends or anything along those lines. But it could add more damage. Like it could help against some resistances that enemies could have.
Okay, but I lean in and I say, what if I gave you a really, really good looking rug?
The whole theme of tonight is rugs.
What if I gave you the Duke's rug?
Kind of looks around.
Is that a euphemism?
I'm not gonna lie, the rug really ties the smith together.
You know, the Duke's got a nice fucking rug. That's for certain. Yeah, you know what? Sure, why not? You bring me a rug and I'll silver the weapon for you. All right?
Deal.
Come back in a couple hours and I'll have this fixed for you.
Appreciate it.
Take care, lads and laddies.
I say
Oh shit.
Rune in Dwarvish, he doesn't know you don't have the rug till after we cure the plague, right?
I also look at Rune and I go, don't you think we need the battle axe for the battle we're going into?
He said to come back in an hour. We'll be fine.
So,
question real quick.
Yeah.
So, do I need additional tools outside of my smith tools that I have to like be able to help the group with things like this?
You need to buy supplies, which basically it'd be about half cost for, about half to quarter of the cost depending on what you're trying to make. So, for example, I think like if you wanted to make like a dagger that is 2 gold pieces, it would only be 1 gold to make a dagger because of your smithing abilities.
Gotcha.
And there is a possibility that you could fail depending on a roll. So,
what kind of upgrades can I put on my warhammer?
It could be magically imbued down the line. You could also get it silvered.
Mm-hmm.
You could have it sort of remade as adamantine, which makes it a little bit quicker. But typically, you might be able to add some runes to it down the line. Magical.
So it's better off enchanted rather than smithed better.
Yeah. Basically, the only really additions that you get are enchantments down the line.
Hey, Smithy, you got anything that'll help with these fucking orcs we'll be fighting?
Orcs? They're going to deal with those bastards out there.
That's our quest.
Aye.
Well, that's noble of you.
These fuckers are going to watch me kill all 8 of them.
Well, let's see, lassie. What could you use for some orcs out there? All right. I've got some ideas. What's your preferred way of beating them down?
Giant fucking axe.
Giant fucking axe. I like you, Missy. Ah.
I want to know if I can upgrade my quarterstaff. That'd be great.
I've got something for you, Missy. You could promise to bring me back an orc's head. I can mount on the wall here. I don't know. I'll get it stuffed up and whatnot, but there's a sign. Perhaps I could, maybe I'll throw you a nice little weapon. Maybe I'll, help you out with what you have now. What do you prefer?
I'll handle it with my own for now, and you give me that beginner axe.
I'll find a better axe for you if you bring me back an orc head. Make sure it's a big orc's head, though. Maybe if you find, like, the chief out there, bring me his head. I'll make sure I give you a good weapon for that.
Easy peasy.
I like your fiery spirit.
Are there any enchanters in the town?
In the town, no. Enchanters would be more so in the bigger cities, like the capital city, Bastilon or Stonewall, in Stormfell, or maybe Oak Run or Drywood in Trevalden.
Okay.
All right, so real quick, I do have. So I have bolts already. Do you have darts?
Darts? Yeah, I can make some darts for you. Sure.
Surprise.
Let's see here. Darts. 5 silver per dart. I'm sorry, 5 copper per dart. Math.
5 copper per dart.
5 copper per dart. Aye.
I'm gonna give you a gold piece, man.
Oh, all right then. Well, if my math is correct, we'll say 10 darts.
10 darts.
Right.
That's fair. Yep.
There you go. 10 darts for 1 gold piece.
Guys are buying darts.
What do you have in the form of ranged weapons?
Ranged weapons. I could get you something along the lines of a bow, crossbow. If you want something a little more exotic, perhaps I could come up with something along the lines of that. Maybe a boomerang, if you fancy that.
What do you have in the way of bows?
Wait, we have a crossbow from the last. No, he gave. It was only 2. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't have. The only ranged weapon that I have right now is javelins.
Didn't everybody get a crossbow last time?
Nah, remember you? It was 2.
We all got longbows.
Yeah.
I got a longbow too.
No, because remember Raytheon, I think he just gave us. Well, he gave me a crossbow.
Yeah, I picked up a light crossbow.
From the last battle. Right. There was only 2, and I think you sold the. I don't know if he was going to sell the other ones.
Yeah, I only have javelins for ranged weapons, and they have a maximum of 30 foot. What's the range on a bow?
A longbow is 150 to 600 feet.
Okay.
And what is the bow care policy on that? Is it 24 or 36 months?
It's if you break it, you buy a new one. That's how that works. Perhaps if you're interested for some more exotic weapons, I don't have that unfortunately, but if you head out west to Bastilon, I've heard they got some new fancy things called what's it called? Like a blunderbuss or a musket or something along those lines, a pepper box.
Oh my god, there's guns.
Some crazy bastard out west made them up. Something along those lines. Has some black powder that blows the fuck up if you light it with fire. I'd voice that check for you.
I capture that in a quick little Bastilon, and then I draw a little gun.
Since we've already given you so much business, what can you do for me for a long bow and 20 arrows?
Oh, longbow and 20 arrows, lad. Let's see. Well, a longbow is typically around 50 gold pieces. What have you got to work with?
So it's typically 50 gold pieces for the arrow. How much are the arrows? Typically?
1 gold for 20 arrows.
1 gold for 20 arrows. Oh, so that's not bad.
And then 50 for the bow.
What's the best you can do for me?
Well,
since we're saving your town with these weapons, what's the best you can do for me?
I whisper in Thor's ear.
I'll give you 35 gold for the bow and the arrows.
I whisper in Thor's ear, make him giggle, it'll help.
Make a persuasion check.
17.
35. Tell you what, you bring me back one of those orcs' weapons. If you promise me that you bring me back an orc blade, along with the head when he points to you, Flamboyant, along with the chief's head, if you bring me a nice weapon from one of them. Doesn't have to be nice, but you get what I'm saying. An orc weapon, because to be honest, you never fucking see orcs outside of the desert. I'll give you the bow, and I'll give you 20 silvered arrows for the 35 gold pieces.
Deal.
You seem like a man of honor. I'm sure you'll keep your word.
Aye. You'll have my word.
All right, then. Here's your long bow. And 20 silvered arrows for you. 35 golds.
All right, so let me...
Do you be buying weapons there, Smithy?
Oh, sure. I'll buy them from you.
How much you be giving for this light crossbow?
Light crossbow? You tend to see if those are relatively decent weapons. I'll say 13 gold.
Got yourself a deal?
All right, then. Thank you very much.
You want to buy another one? I got one right here.
Sure. Why not? 13 gold.
All right, boom.
Gold. Takes a crossbow. Sure, these could use a little bit of fixer-upping. These aren't in the best shape, but I'm sure I can make something out of these.
How long did you say it would take to fix my battle axe?
A couple hours. I head on the tavern down the block. Maybe have a few drinks there, come back, it'll be done.
So do you know of anyone that might know of somebody that knows a guy about a wizard?
A wizard? None of that shites around here. Bastilon's your best bet for that. Although maybe Famaris might have someone there for you. I can't guarantee it, though. That place is full of political shite and a bunch of nobles. It's a shithole. You don't want to go there.
Those are the making travel even great again guys, aren't they?
It's something along the lines of that. I'd say Bastalon's your best bet if you're looking for a wizard. They got fucking everything out there. It's a capital city after all.
So capital city.
Aye.
I heard rumors of a wizard in the woods. Is that not? Is that only a rumor?
I'm not sure what you're talking about, lad. Nothing. No rumors caught my ear about that from up here, but maybe one day.
Nice. All right, I'm ready to go back to the tavern because you guys haggling has got me thirsty.
I'm already about 8 beers in.
So everyone leaves. You make your way back to the Lindowell. As you guys open the doors up, you see sort of manning behind the bar. An older black gentleman. His hair is short-cut white hair. It's got a scar going across one of his eyes that's whitened out. Looks like possibly blind in that eye. Who's a soft face, kind of got a lip that's pucking out a little bit. Sitting sort of relaxing behind the bar. A couple taps behind there. A few patrons around that are keeping their distance. And as you guys walk in, oh, hello there. What can I do for y'all?
Mead.
Right to the point. Have a seat, gentlemen. Ma'am.
Hey, Junior.
Oh, that was perfect.
Mead coming right up. Takes a tankard down. Puts it down on the bar. There you go. Enjoy.
Can I get a wine list?
Looks at you. Wine. We don't carry much of that around here. Most mead and spirits.
All right. What do you got in the way of margaritas?
He kind of looks around to the rest of you. Is he serious?
I don't know, man.
It'll be a mead for him as well.
You gotta
Wise choice. Pulls the tankard down.
I pull a little roly poly out of my pocket. I light up a little cig in the bar, and I don't need no mead.
Right.
Can I roll a perception to make sure that there's no disease in my mead?
Take a perception check, sure.
Yeah, I'm not drinking mead.
Wait, can I order like food? Can I get a turkey leg?
Medicine check. Oh, looks to you.
Is it a medicine check or is it
Medicine? Because you're trying to determine the nature of if there's anything spiked in the drink, like disease.
Yeah.
I rolled a 19.
19?
Nice.
No, that's good. Not diseased. Pretty fresh. Looks good. Smells good.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Like
I look at Connor and I go, turkey legs would be fucking dope right now.
I'm hungry, man, right now.
I'm
I need
fucking starving.
some food.
Looks to you, Connor.
Starving.
Bit hungry there. I see. Looking for a meal?
Listen, man, we haven't ate nothing for the past 2 episodes, man. I'm hungry right now.
Oh, that's no good here in Lindowell. Have a seat, gentlemen. I'll cook something up for you real quick.
Can we do a little tapas, like family style for everybody? Little pickings, some small plates.
Sure.
Can I
Duke's covering on this one.
Shotty the drumstick.
While he's preparing everything, can I ask if he's heard if he knows anything about the orcs?
Yeah. What do you ask him?
No, just gonna say so. You've seen a lot of people come in and out of the tavern. What are people saying about the orcs?
Oh, well, nothing good about them. They're the ones that stole our land out here and causing a ruckus and gave us this disease out here.
Are you diseased?
No. I've been making sure I've been staying away from all that nonsense.
Is there anyone in this town who's survived an encounter with the orcs and may know where they are?
Oh, well, I've heard a few rumors that they'd be somewhere up north from town here, a little bit closer to the mountain range, somewhere by the forest.
I pull the lead box out of my satchel and place it on the table in front of me and ask him if this looks familiar.
Let's have a look here. It picks it up.
Can I read the room and see if anyone reacts to him pulling that out?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh yeah, buddy, nat 20.
Nat 20?
Plus 5. But
okay, yeah. So no one gives a shit.
That's the greatest response ever.
The most epic roll.
That's the greatest response ever.
Yeah, no one cares.
There's gonna be like 3 other patrons inside the bar right now, and they're just too busy with themselves to worry about what you guys are doing.
shit.
Boy, fucking people.
He's holding around. Looks back to you. Nope. Don't know what this is, but it's light for lead. That's something. Puts it back down.
You know where we can find any wizards in town?
Oh,
Anybody who knows the arcane arts?
not down here, but that's probably better off in Bastardon out there. They've got all that keep poking magic shit out there.
Hey,
Let's say theoretically we weren't allowed in Bastalon. Anywhere else there might be a wizard.
Oh, I've got no damn idea if you're asking me that. But, probably Bastalon is your best bet. Given the academies out there, they've got all of them fancy magicians and whatnot.
Let me ask you something real quick.
Oh, go on ahead.
Do you cook faster than you fucking talk?
Good thing I've got people in the back cooking on hump. My apologies for the stutter. Can't quite control it, given a bit of an accident I got into. Some poison got my system, messed me all up in my head and my eye, as you can see.
Would I be able to heal him with my hands? Like, do I have that ability?
Lay on hands.
Yeah.
You could certainly try if you want to.
All right, let's go ahead. So
Just keep in mind you have a fight in a couple hours potentially. So
yeah, but I got a couple of those. So it's all right.
Don't waste it. Don't waste it. He said Orc War Chief. Don't waste it.
We'll be fine. Me and Thorim both have healing hands, and so do you. We got 3 people with healing hands.
We have 8 between the 2 of us.
Yeah.
We each
So-
get 4
so-
lay on hands.
you get
So
5.
bandits versus
fuck.
bandits.
So
Orcs are like real enemies now, guys.
So I'm trying to get more out of this guy. So I reach forward I put both my hands on his shoulders, and I
You lean over the bar. You're like, so buddy.
yeah. I reach over and I say listen. Stay still. I'm gonna help you real fast. And I reach over and I grab him by the shoulder and I see if I can heal him with anything.
Okay. So you cast Lay on Hands. How many hit points do you try to heal with that? Out of your 5 that you have.
Let's screw it. Just give him the 5. Let's go.
Give him the 5. Okay.
I guess we ain't getting healed.
You see, you lay your hands on him, and you see your hands glow, and he goes, "Ooh." The warm glow from it emits, and he looks around. Ooh. That's not gonna work. Felt good there for a moment,
Motherfucker.
I appreciate you trying, but it's a bit of a more difficult thing to heal.
All right.
Probably one of these days I should
we should have done it together, damn it. Should have double hit him with lay on hands.
probably go on down the Bastion, visit the Chantry. Maybe one of them priestesses can heal me up with their magic. But
All right.
much obliged, friend. You got drinks here on the house whenever you come back.
I appreciate that.
I retreat to a booth and pull my notebook out to just start like documenting all of the things we've learned today about the wizard and this man with a very, very slow voice being a good reason not to come back. Almost like a Yelp review about this bar. I think we lost the dungeon master.
Oh, did we lose him?
Yeah, he's not in Grid Fam.
He might have
We
actually.
should,
Yeah, he's
take a
calling.
break.
Accidentally hung.
The
There
the poll in Rico's channel is popping off. I said, was that a waste of a heal? And why did he do that is leading with 9 votes.
I tried. What do you want me to do? Hey, I got free mead for everybody, so I don't want to hear it. 22, 27, 32.
We already had the fucking free mead, you dummy.
Oh my god.
No, you got free mead today, not after today. This fella right here, however, I'll give him some free mead on after this.
In my drunken anger, I reach over and punch the beer keep back down to his original health.
Oh, make an attack roll.
Attacked him.
Why would you attack him?
Oh, you pissed me off. Am I doing the unarmed strike?
Yeah, go ahead.
What if you kill him, damn it?
It said his original health, an 18.
18?
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh my god. You guys...
What's your strength modifier?
My strength is +4.
So you
Oh, wait,
deal
hold on.
5. So
Wait,
you
the
deal
damage is +5. Damage, all right, so
5. It's a
Yeah.
flat 5.
Okay.
So you deal 5 points of damage to this old man behind the bar.
yeah. take
As you
that.
just go, hey, just clobber him across the face, and you smack him, and you spin his head around to the side, and you see him kind of.
And I say, how you like that fucking lay on hands?
What if that heals him?
Oh,
Yeah, like hitting a broken TV.
and you see he kind of looks at you, and now he's got this straight glare at you. Not a wise idea.
Fix your fucking speech.
Whoa! You hear that? His slur's gone.
Fix your fucking temper, short stack, or I'll cut
You
that
healed
temper
him.
right off you. You understand?
I'm at this point tweaking, starving, and completely baffled that he healed him. Kind of freaking out a little.
The fucking power of a mountain dwarf.
No, that's stupidity
You're catching back up to your fucking stupidity.
of a drunk dwarf. Figured your kind could hold your mead better. Guess not.
That's right.
Hey,
The dwarf is
Hey.
drunk.
hey, Rune, your sword's probably ready at this.
Yeah, I apologize for my dwarven idiot friend, but I appreciate the mead, and I leave to go pick up my battle axe.
It's all right.
And I leave to go take a piss.
I go sit under a table because whatever I just smoked out of my pocket was not what I thought it was.
And I still got no turkey leg, man. It's crazy.
Starving.
I hear them in the back now. They got some good stuff coming for you.
Service is as slow as your speech.
Except for the dwarf. Dwarf gets none of that. You can starve.
Rather starve than run
Who
the
else
risk
is
of
in?
talking like you.
I'll take the dwarf's
Who else is in
portion.
this?
I'll
So
be held for you
I'm-
then.
Anybody interesting in this tavern with us? Like anybody that like just outwardly looks like they don't
No.
fit into this town?
No, couple you guys. If it's a couple just farmers, looks like a couple people down on their luck who are just having a couple drinks and just keeping to themselves for the most part.
All right.
And you see now that a couple younger humans come out with some platters of food that are brought to the table. And see the gentleman walks over. He comes walking over, limping over with a cane to the table.
Oh, make sure your short friend over there keeps grubby paws to herself. This is all your food, but not yours for your attitude. Remember to keep that in check with your liquor next time.
While he's talking, I'm just like scooping stuff off of the plate and into my shirt that I'm gonna eat. Just eating.
Connor, you are presented a turkey leg, a fat turkey leg at this point.
Oh, dude, I'm just chowing down, man. Because
Can you,
You
have
see
you tried these nachos? Have you tried these fucking nachos?
oh, give me the
They're out of
nachos.
control.
He kind of walks over to you, Connor, and just puts a hand on your shoulder.
Enjoy, buddy.
Nah, much obliged, man.
He scurries on. He just walks on back over to the bar now.
All right, what did I miss?
So
Not
now-
much.
Food.
No, we got the food.
Flamboyant didn't get a turkey leg, so yeah.
I'm stoned and eating a lot, and I'm kind of just staring at Connor at this point. I'm not usually around, like obviously hobgoblins aren't regularly around here, so I'm just staring at him, and I just very quietly I lean into him, and I just go, "Do you have a fucking tail?"
Why do you ask that?
You have a fucking tail.
What does that matter to you exactly?
Can it? Do you do tricks?
Tricks.
I'm looking straight
Can you
at
do
Flamboyant
anything?
like, is he serious?
I'd punch the fucker, but you see what that happened? What it did to me?
It's probably time for me to go to bed at this point in the tavern. So I'm gonna take some food with me and retreat to. Are we like? Is it like a? Are there like rooms upstairs that we're gonna stay in, or what's the deal? Yeah.
There are rooms, depending on if you guys want to take your rest now. Could be accommodated.
I'd like to take a rest. I kind of maybe I ask. Hey guys, I'm a little bit beat. Not really orc war chief fighting ready. I think it'd be dope to just get a little nappy in. Maybe a long nappy. What are you thinking? Maybe reset some spell slots. You know what I mean?
Well, that would replenish the lay on hands that we used, and
so then it would
provide the blacksmith more time to perfect your weapon.
Maybe Flamboyant and Rune can get a little cozy. I'm just saying, whatever.
Fuck off.
I give a fuck. So we're voting to grab a room. I'll pay for the rooms tonight. How about that, guys?
Deal.
You gentlemen and ma'am looking for some rooms here, I see.
It's like he can hear. Holy shit. Is he listening to us?
You're not exactly being the fucking quietest person in this bar.
And you forgot to speak to us.
I'm actually standing on the table at this point. I have zero concept of anything around me.
Flamboyant, he looks to you and he goes, might not be smart, but you're wise. Stay for all y'all. I don't got much, but I got some bunks. Probably could accommodate all y'all, but say how many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say 3 gold pieces for all y'all.
You heard the elf? He's paying.
Yeah, he is paying.
All right. 3 gold pieces for the night for all y'all to stay.
Deal. I hand him 3 gold.
Right.
And the gold is
absolutely
covered in like nacho juices and nastiness. Like my hands are just up.
Nacho juices.
He just kind of dunks them in a cup of water. Much obliged. Tucks it away.
Can't tell if that ass smell is your weed or the people in the bar.
So after some time, you guys take your rest for the night. Long rest comes.
Is it short rest or long rest?
Long rest.
Sleepy.
That only really does anything for Rune, right?
For the spellcasters, for the most part.
Yeah.
I cast the detect magic earlier too, so I free back that slot.
So
all I did was impatiently punch a barkeep.
I set up a tent. I'm used to sleeping like out in the woods, so even though we're indoors in a tavern upstairs in a room, I'm a little stoned, so I set my full tent up in the middle of the room and sleep in that.
all right.
I got dibs on top bunk.
So it's a humble little space, enough to fit all of you, of course.
How intrusive is my tent?
Pretty fucking. You're like taking up the whole majority of the center of the room.
The tent really brings the room together.
Yeah, really ties it all together. But as you guys are all gathered together, the morning comes. As you prepare for the next day to come forward, let's take a quick break. If everyone wants to hit the bathroom real quick, get a quick cup of water, and reconvene, and then we will see what happens as you head north for the
real life us.
Real life us. Real life.
Yeah.
Cool. Real life bathroom break. Sponsored by We Are Hazard.
Before I start chopping the shit off of everything's head that I see.
As far as the silvered arrows, I'm trying to add them to my inventory, but it's just regular
I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you.
Okay, I added the longbow, so you don't have to add that.
So the longbow, and then let me just see. I'll do some
Dr. Pepper.
Some quick.
I added a few legendary swords and elven armor. Is that cool?
Nice. Yeah, dude. I got you. Yeah. All good.
Just in case we need them for the battle.
Just in case. Right.
I also have a mount.
All right, stream. We're taking a quick break. Any suggestions? Let us know. Oh, I'd love to hear.
Tell me.
Yeah, and I'm gonna actually end this stream because I'm having like technical difficulties where it's not streaming to Facebook this whole time. So I'm gonna end it and then start it over again when we come back from the interim. This way,
there you go.
We get everybody on here again.
Tweet it back out. I'm gonna charge my headset. Tweet it back.
Just ended it. Yeah, it was weird when I first joined. Everything was okay, and then all of a sudden, I clicked off the screen and clicked back on, and all the windows disappeared. And when I tried to re-add the Chrome screen, it wasn't showing up in the quick menu. And then I canceled that stream and started a new stream, and the second stream I started only went on Twitch. It didn't go on Facebook. And what sucks is I had a bunch of viewers when I first started up the stream. So,
well, either way,
hopefully this time it'll fix itself.
Hopefully it should fix itself.
I gotta figure out how to make this shit stream to YouTube too, because it's not. I have the multi-Twitch, not multi-Twitch, but I have the multi-platform on Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah.
And my YouTube account is linked to it. It's just, I don't know, it's having a conniption for some reason.
Weird. I don't know OBS that well, but I know enough to do some basics.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Just trying to figure everything out. Ugh. This is fun though. Am I doing terribly, Zach? Am I a horrible D&D player?
No. Definitely.
I have to bring humor to everything I do. I'm sorry.
Of course.
I'll break the fucking.
Everyone is relatively new to the game as well, so it's a new experience for everyone. So, I played with plenty of new groups before, so eventually learn how to tailor it a little more that way, get everyone better fit.
I actually was watching an interview today, ironically, of Joe Manganiello talking about character development and like
he's so good.
And he was saying that he's like, don't worry about not knowing the rules. And
yeah,
especially even if you're like a returning player that forgot. He's like, by the first session, you'll have about 80% of the knowledge.
Yeah, you'll get the flow of it down.
The character. He said by the, what did he say? Like you get like 10% from like reading about your character itself, and then he said if you have the books, then you get that last 10% to get 100.
Yep.
For like what your character is truly capable of.
This is my stats so far. I have two more. I have two more behind me.
You know what's fucked up? I have the original Dungeons and Dragons book. My dad got it from like forever ago.
So those
One
are
of the
really
really
cool.
There's a really good series if you like watching the videos on it. Dimension 20 does an Adventuring Academy series. It's Brennan Lee Mulligan, I think. And he interviews like a bunch of different people, but that one's a really good series to get your head around like how to role play and how to make a character, how to interact.
Role playing was a bit daunting at first because it seemed weird, but then when you realize that everyone else at the table is just playing pretend with you also, you kind of just get used to it. Everyone sounds like an idiot at the end of the day. It's okay.
Yeah. Do we have an overlay that has our guys on it?
That's me from the beginning of the day.
Mike sets up the individual people on his stream. If you go to Ricochet's stream, he's live right now.
Because I have the old overlay.
He made one with the like miniatures, and then I made my own with the tokens.
There's 48 people watching us eat.
Bologna and cheese sandwich.
As a slower man once said,
I hate you. Muscle blood. Fucking hate you.
Yeah, that tortured me that whole time. Can we wake up and he had a stroke so we don't have to interact with him again?
Yeah. I hope when we get back,
I
when
rolled
we get
for
back
that.
to the tavern, they died.
He took it actually caused a brain aneurysm, and now he's dead.
I rolled the nat 20 for that. We're good.
I won't feel.
Just for that, you're gonna definitely have a conversation with him in the morning.
What time is checkout?
What do I have to roll to slit his throat in his sleep?
Oh my god.
Murder hobos.
Wait. Did we establish that he's slow because he had an interaction with a goblin or orc or something? You said.
No, he said there was a point where he was in like an accident, and he got hit by some poison, and it kind of fucked up his system. That's what caused these, because there was a big scratch and scar. I'll send a picture. Hold up. You get an idea.
I'm excited.
Like, what I'm wondering is, like, why is the lay on hands ineffective when it supposedly cures poisons?
It's because it was a poison the effect had already settled in long ago. So at this point, it would be more of like a greater restoration for it.
It's like he's like a chronic illness at this, but you guys are trying to like
exactly.
diabetes by
Diabetes.
Oh, he's cool looking.
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play Far Cry 5?
I haven't, but I've watched it.
It's hilarious. There's a
look
bear
like Danny Glover.
used as a companion in the game, and his name is Cheeseburger. And
Ah,
they're
it's
like,
muted. I yelled that same thing. I just yelled. It looks like Danny Glover. But I was
Like
muted.
Danny Glover, dude.
You said it. I was like, yeah, see, exactly.
the bear's name is Cheeseburger, and they're like, don't feed him any cheeseburgers though on account he got the diabetes. Oh my god. Should crack me up every time.
Diabetes.
There's a guy that walks past my house every day that looks like Wilford Brimley. Mustache and everything. Diabetes.
Was it Saturday Night Live with Charles Barkley? Help me make diabetes live, beatus.
That's terrible.
I think it was true. Was it Charles Barkley?
Because that's terrible.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
All right, so oh, there you go. It does look like Danny Glover.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Danny Glover.
I would say like a old tattered Danny Glover, but Danny Glover's old and tattered now. So.
Look like Danny Glover from The Color Purple. That's what it looked like, man.
Oh god.
That's who you punched in the face.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I feel like we're coming up on a point where we're really gonna see Conor shine in action, fucking up some orcs.
Oh man.
Hopefully. All right.
I've been waiting for some really solid Conor dialogue as he's murdering orcs.
Or like he's just get knocked down to 2 health while I'm still sitting on the camera.
It was like
Mike, can I refresh the grid fan page, or is that gonna fuck everything up?
You can refresh it. That's fine.
Well, he'll have to call back in.
Yeah.
Sitting here eating licorice because I'm a fat piece of shit.
When he gets there, we go. All right. Start it again in just a moment.
Thank you, because
Whenever you guys are ready.
When I was in the kitchen, I went in there just to get a drink, and then I decided to make myself 2 sandwiches, and I realized I'm 140 going on 400 pounds.
Oh, man.
All right. Are we ready?
I think so.
All right, let's do it. Let's get to these orcs.
Mighty fine.
Fuck.
All right.
I wake up in the morning and I beeline the fuck out of that tavern straight into the street.
So you exit the door, and as soon as you walk out,
Oh, hello there. Good morning.
Is your and you
I
start
reach for the cyanide pill in my bag.
you start power walking. Oh, leaving so soon.
I tip my hat. I say, "Thank you, sir," and I bounce.
Much obliged. You beeline out first. What do the rest of you guys do?
I get up, thank him for letting us stay in there, and remind him that he said I could drink for free. So I ask for one more mead before I leave.
Oh, I like your spirit. There's a tankard. Gives you a tankard of mead.
I just chug it straight down, one shot, whole thing, give it back to him.
Cheers.
Great.
So I'm coming downstairs.
Before battle, this dude's wasted.
No, wasted. 6'6", 290 pounds, pure muscle.
You come downstairs.
So I'm coming downstairs, man, and the first thing I look at him, I'm saying, if you have any spare turkey legs, man, I can get to go.
I still looking for turkey legs.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh my God, please, for the love of God. For the love of God,
a turkey leg.
Please. 11. Okay.
11?
Oh, I'm sorry, 10. My bad, 10.
I'm sure I could spare one for you.
I'll take that one. Yep, there you go.
Oh, give me just a moment.
All right.
Walks on into the back. See, comes out with a little like steel, like a steel tin, kind of like fits in your hand, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
He puts it in. It's a little, probably since your hobgoblin bigger hands, definitely fits well in your hand. Kind of hold it like this. Don't tell nobody, but I got two back there for you. Make sure you stay safe out there, buddy.
Will do. Much obliged.
Take care in your journeys. Linda Wells always open for travelers.
I will be back.
On my way out, I gently reach up and grab his chin and turn his face to the side and look at where I punched him, and I say, "It looks good on you," and I turn and walk out.
Been hit far worse than what you did, little one. Take care now.
Is that it? Did everybody leave?
There's still one.
Thorim.
Turbidus.
Thorim is still sleeping.
Where is Turbidus?
He's just passively going with you guys. That's all.
Yeah, I'm coming too.
I'm not going to narrate his every action. As you, or as you're leaving.
Chat made a really good point. Was the room we were in, just to double back on that, was the rug nice?
Was there even a rug?
To your absolute horror, it was a hardwood floor.
Oh God, no!
I knew it. Run!
We can carry on.
All right. As you're leaving, Thorim, make sure you take care now.
Very well.
Farewell. Oh, that's some mighty fine blade you've got on your back there.
Appreciate it.
I've got one just like that.
Oh yeah, the twin to my blade.
Something along those lines. Got to keep it always prepared for when you got people like Short Stack out there that try and get a little handsy after a few drinks.
I'll be sure to use the twin to your sword to slay these orcs.
Oh, enjoy. You'll even close the door as you all gather outside now.
I'll be glad if I never see that fucker again.
You can hear the barkeep, the tavern guy whisper, "I'm getting too old for this shit." Chat, if you don't know, the barkeep looks like Danny Glover.
Pretty much.
But
That's one of those characters where you fucking hate them because the person playing them does too good a job. It's like a guy in a movie. You're like, I fucking hate this guy, but do I really hate him, or is he just really good?
see, it's interesting because one of my other groups loves him.
It's just like, yeah, it's like too good of a job. Where I'm just like, oh my god, this guy just fucking speed up, just spit it out.
Is anything I learned from
today, Junior?
There's anything I learned from my brief voice acting experience is that pacing matters.
Being a big boy.
All right, so we're all outside. We're all outside the tavern, and we're all. It's the morning.
I'm at the tavern with Bugs Bunny and Peter Griffin.
Yeah, I rolled the net 20, Doc.
So can I work? I want to walk my way over to the blacksmith to pick up my battle axe.
Okay, sure. So you head your way over there in the early morning. You hear the panging away, the blacksmith, and as the morning rises, you hear poof poof. Ah, you're back. I thought you wouldn't come back at all. Come now. I've gotten good work on your blade now. You want to come see? He pulls it off of a rack and spins it around. Looks nice and shiny. The edge of the blade is very sharp. This is, I bet I could shave with this. I could shave my non-existent fucking hair with this one, but it'll be perfect for cutting off some orc heads. So, take good care of it, laddie. Hands it over to you.
I paid him already, right? Or is he still waiting for? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you paid him. Well, I wish all of you the best of luck, and points to you, Flamboyant. I look forward to seeing that head.
I'll bring you fucking 8 of them.
What about that rug?
If there's 8 chiefs, and I hope there's 8, and for you, and he points to Thorim. I look forward to seeing that weapon. Aye. Take care, laddies, and stay safe. Poo, poo. As you go back to the forge, spinning away. You guys take your leave from his chambers and his smithy shop, and make your way back out into the world again. As you exit through the northern gate of Klingum, you make the journey north again towards whatever may lie ahead, as you mentioned. So, given how
Are we
this
in the
is,
cart? We're on foot or in the cart again?
On foot.
And Rory's not with us anymore, right?
Correct.
We should have made that a stipulation that Rory has to join.
And the butler's not with us. Turbidus came with us, obviously.
More importantly, the rug's not with us, and that makes me angry.
So, given the nature of trying to find this, what we're going to do is something called a skill challenge. There are basically a certain amount of times you need to complete a task. Depending on if you fail, it could set you back further. If you succeed, it gets you closer to your objective. How a skill challenge work is each of you, to a degree, will attempt to use your abilities or your skills to find the way ahead. So, for example, let's say that Flamboyant wanted to use athletics somehow to use athletics to find, come up with a creative way to find an orc encampment. That's kind of the gist of this, is where you guys need to pick a skill and you need to come up with a way of how you can use that for this challenge.
Oh, word, I have ideas. Let's go.
So I'd like each of you to roll initiative for me. Not for combat, but just to see who's going to go first and who will take this. This is my own spin on a skill challenge, so some people may be familiar with this, maybe others not so much, because this is more of a 4th edition thing. But I like skill challenges, so that's why I use them.
That's a saving throw, right?
It's an initiative. It's Initiative, yeah.
The one
I got
next to the
20.
armor class.
Yep.
I got
Oh.
16.
12.
15.
Man,
Uh,
really didn't even
so
get double digits. Shit.
20 to 15.
I got 16.
16. Okay. 15 to 10.
12.
I got 15. I'm sorry. I thought you heard that.
I got 20. I don't know if you heard that.
Sorry.
The only
sorry,
person who's actually listening and waiting for their bracket got a fucking 3. He's sitting here forever for him to get that low.
Bobbity boobity.
Okay, and then we've got
What'd
the
you just
last
say to me?
one.
It was in
He's speaking
Celestial. Don't worry
Italian.
about it. Look, I
Peter.
got this halo. Now I can speak Celestial.
Whenever Thorim gets nervous, he talks like Peter Griffin.
I'm not nervous. What makes you think I'm nervous?
And so,
Everyone
Thorim,
wonders who that is.
you are up first in the skill challenge. You decide to take the initiative on trying to find the path and find the way to track down this orc encampment. What would you like to do as an attempt to find it? Basically, you pick a skill. Depending on how creative you get with it, that will affect the DC that I set it at.
Okay.
So the base DC without any creativity, where you just say I'm going to use this, is an 18. If you get creative with it and explain to me in definition as to why you're using it, that'll drop it down, assuming it fits the belt. So, what would you like to use to maneuver your way or find this orc camp in wherever in
Now, have we
Athos?
already the town?
You've left the town, yes.
Okay.
This is on the journey there.
See, I'm torn between using investigation or using divine sense. See, divine sense allows me to see any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to use that to uncover tracks or something like that?
It wouldn't be to uncover tracks because divine sense actually it is meant to
the being itself. Correct?
Yes, the being itself, not the tracks. For tracks in particular, it'd be survival.
Okay. So then I think I'll go for survival then.
Okay. Would you like to explain how you're going to use survival, or?
Well, I'm gonna search the area to see if there are any, because we're in an area that's been attacked, correct?
Yes, you're sort of on like a dirt road at this point, more in like heading towards more just an open field. And
I'd like to use survival to sense if there's been any activity in the area recently.
Okay, go ahead and make a survival check.
So that's a 14.
14. Okay. So taking the time where you lead the charge, the first thing you look for right away is tracks and prints, trying to determine if there's been any activity, what the timeline of this activity is, perhaps depending on the age of the prints. Looking closely, you do come across what looks like some humanoid footprints, quite larger than the rest of the batch. As you sort of pass by what looks like a burnt and destroyed farm, where you see a farmer that's hung on a spike, basically. In the middle of this field, you see that there are a variety of smaller footprints that probably fit the size of this farmer's corpse. And you also see some much larger footprints that go a little further northeast, and then eventually wane off and just fade in with the rest of the earth. So that is one success for you guys. Rune, you're up next. What would you like to do?
I mean, I could also do survival, but
if you do the same check over again, the DC gets higher.
okay.
So repeating a check will make it harder, basically.
Okay, can I use athletics to climb a tree, or what's around me right now? What exactly is around me?
There's
right
some
now?
trees.
Okay. Is the terrain more so just like, is it like a forest terrain? Like what's my terrain currently?
Not exactly forest, but there are trees around. Like it's the trees are not like very vast and dense, but they are spread about. There are some that are taller than others. It's not like a forest, but it's also not just an open plain.
Okay. Let me climb to the top of the tree and see if I can see anything. Well, I'm looking for openings in the forest that an encampment could be at, potentially smoke that could signal a fire, something to that effect.
For this, I would say that would be more perception, since the focus of it is more of scouting the area than climbing the tree.
Okay, no problem.
Make a perception check then.
That is a 18.
18. Okay. Climbing a tree, getting a vantage point. You see that there is a path that leads you up a hill where you do see perhaps might be what are some of these tracks and some splintered wood. And interestingly enough, as you look ahead, some trees that have been cut down. As you sort of, with this vantage point now, you do notice that this path is sort of, in a way, dug out or carved ahead with what looks like maybe trees that were cut down and then dragged across a path ahead. But you get a sense of direction ahead. And that is a second completion for you guys. Second success on this challenge. Raytheon, you're up.
Raytheon. I'm thinking.
So far, survival and perception have been used.
I see that. I'm thinking.
You have insight, don't you? Don't you have high insight?
I do, but it's sort of like more for figuring out, like, if I was looking at an orc, what his intentions might be.
Actually,
I'm gonna go. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with my nature check. We've been learning a little bit about sort of like the environment, but I know the woods well enough, being a wood elf, that I could sense disturbances. I could sense maybe terrain that's been brushed up against from. Obviously, these orcs move in hordes, right? Even if it's a small group of orcs, they're probably tightly packed together and knocking over more plants than maybe a bear or something might.
Okay.
I'm also thinking, these aren't small creatures, so the footprints probably obviously are, to me, I'm able to distinguish whether it's a bear or a fox or an orc, or even a human and an orc footprint in even like subtle amounts of dirt and things like that. From like a tracking perspective, I'm mildly tempted to look around for an animal to talk to. Can I do a general nature check to see if there's anything, around me in terms of like talkable?
Just make a general, not even for the talkable perspective, just make a nature check.
All right, cool.
Given the description you've given.
22.
22. Okay. So as you are looking around, tracking, in particular, checking for wildlife, nature itself around this area, you find what looks almost like maybe it's like a fox's den, and like a little rabbit hole and some trees, and looking around for wildlife. Notice that a lot of the wildlife is not there, even though their dens and their little their terrain is set up and established. They're not there, and it looks like, as far as tracks go, you do pick up a couple of these larger footprints that are around the area of these terrains, and you sort of follow that back and keep sort of moving in a direction in which which there are no animals, given maybe they were scared off by something. So that is your third success, as you are coming along these sort of ascending up a hill.
So that means they must have been here recently, because
Yes,
if the animals are gone, then it's fixed for the.
Hey guys, the animals are gone, so they must have been here recently.
The hill begins to flatten out as you guys are making your way up. Connor, what would you like to do?
How is Hobgoblin's sense of smell, man?
I'd say you have a pretty keen sense of smell at this point.
Mm-hmm. Can you say does the smoke kind of track the direction of where, like I said, maybe recent activity, or where they may be, general, I guess a general area where they may be at? I can pinpoint.
Let's see. This, I would say. Let's see. That would be perception if you wanted to use that.
Which we've already used, so that would be a tough
We've already used one perception, yeah.
Yeah,
we already did.
It would be a more difficult, it'd be a higher DC than doing using a skill that isn't already used. Keep in mind, the base DC for if you just say, I'm just going to use this, is 18. So using a skill that's already used would be higher than 18.
Okay. What was already used anyway?
Perception, survival, and nature.
Perception, survival, nature.
Why don't you try investigation?
Yeah, I was going to say, I was looking at investigation. I'm like, nobody's investigation? Yeah, shoot. So basically, it's just, I guess when you use investigation, I guess looking at, I guess what's around as far as like maybe if they left some kind of like debris, trail of debris or whatever, maybe.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay. 9.
So you looking around, sort of investigating the path, catch for a moment what you feel to be what might be a tuft of hair, or maybe even by the looks of it, how tough it is, cloth from maybe a creature. You use this and you catch the scent of it. It smells a little foul. And you point the group towards the direction along the hill. And as you were moving forward, your scent guides you to, it looks like the corpse of a deer, and strays you off the path a little bit. So that would be one failure for your checks currently. So you have 3 successes and 1 failure.
Great, Connor. Great.
Follow your nose. Follow your nose.
Great, Chewie. Great. Always thinking about your stomach.
Listen, I'm still hungry, man.
All right, let's see.
Because the guy with 2 legs.
So have we started to follow up the hill, or are we still just kind of around where the battle was?
Following up the hill. You found a path that you're going up, but you sort of veered off of it a little bit with the direction that Connor pointed you in, since he thought he had a beat on it.
How far off the trail have we strayed?
Not ridiculously far, but
is there still traces of the battle? Is it a big?
You don't see much of a battle, really. There's no particular, because this is far beyond the edge of town. This is well into the what now is more like a sort of a forest, but now is going up a hill that's cutting off into more of an open space.
Is this not where the people were on the pike and stuff?
No, it's far ahead of that now.
Oh, okay, all right.
You ventured off a couple hours ahead now.
Can I cut a little chunk of the deer meat off once we find that corpse? And fasten it to my side.
Sure, it's a little old, but sure.
Cool.
All right, so what checks have we done so far?
Perception, survival, investigation, and nature.
Okay.
I think I have an idea.
Let's see. My plan was to investigate where all the pikes and shit was going down, but we're beyond that now. I think I will do. I'm gonna look back into the ground where Connor's nose has led us slightly astray to see if I can, gently move some leaves out of the way and uncover any possible, new footprints or tracks that have kind of followed where his nose has led us.
Do you want to use survival for that?
Is it survival or is it another nature?
Survival would be for searching for tracks. Nature would be for measuring the ability to recall information about terrain or plants and animals.
All right. Well, if I'm proficient, I get 2 rolls.
No, proficient just means that your proficiency bonus is added to it, which is already calculated.
Okay.
Because you have a wisdom of -1, your proficiency bonus is +2. That is why it's a +1 total.
All right. Well, I will. We haven't done survival. Wait, have we done survival yet?
You've done survival already. Yep.
So we've done survival and we've done nature.
Like I said, you can use any skill if you use it creatively.
Let's see.
If it fits the scenario, if you find a way to fit a skill to a scenario, you can do that.
So is it just trees? Could I use my into what regards does stonework? Is it like actual carved stuff, or can I look into like actual like mountainside or rocks and boulders and stuff to?
Can we brainstorm as a group, or does he have to do this on his own?
Okay, on his own. Stone cunning. Okay, when you make an talent related to the origin of stonework, you are considered proficient in the history. Okay.
So can I
history then?
Yeah, so can I like look at any of the like rocks or hillside or mountain or anything like that to kind of like uncover the history of the area we're at, like if it's a orc village or
you know what? Sure. The bonus would be +7 then instead of +3.
Damn, son.
Dang.
All right. So I got an 18, but plus another 4 makes it a 22.
22. Okay. So with that, finally finding use for your stone cunning.
Yeah, I've been fucking staring at that. I'm gonna fucking stone cunning something.
Looking around and observing the rocks and the patterns in which are displayed on them and the way that they are presented and how they've been shifted, you notice that some of them have been moved and shifted and adjusted forcefully. The pattern looks as if some of them have been defaced and destroyed by some sort of their metal or wood that is of a heavy force that has come across them and has shifted them out of their normal sort of resting spot and has damaged them to a degree as well, most likely from a blade or some dense and strong wood that was hit into it heavily. And following that path and tracking that down and observing that steadily, it eventually takes you around to a winding path that leads you up to this hill where after it's plateaued, and as you look ahead and following these stones, you notice peeking over this very small bump in a hill that you now see a large encampment with spiked wooden walls with some smoke coming out of the bottom, with a few small watchtowers on each corner of the encampment. In the center, what appears to be a stone tower almost, and in the back, what looks like a small stone or wooden outpost with an entryway that leads somewhere. Only 1 story tall, but the wall around this encampment is rather large, and as I said, on each corner of the outpost, there is or the encampment, there are watchtowers, which you see 4 orcs manning and currently with light crossbows and various other orcs probably around from what you can see at the moment. Maybe 12 more inside the encampment.
Damn.
Well, holy shit. One way in, one way out?
Yep. 2 big wooden doors. and you see that there are about 3 long tents inside, and then one other large square tent in the back right corner, and as well as a stable, an open stable where you see some horses sitting around, and probably a dozen horses.
All right.
And as you see when you crest over the hill, as you finished, you have completed the final objective for your skill challenge. And as you now all come across, finally seeing your objective in sight, looking at this orc encampment down below, and surprised at the vast number of these orcs that lie ahead.
Fuck yeah, I am.
That is where we will finish things off for tonight.
Oh, you
Oh my god, I want to fucking burn down that encampment.
Nice. So you know what I got to put in my notes what I would do next time. This is good.
Oh, so exciting.
Can you use your animal handling to summon Mothra to help us with this?
I'll work
God,
on it.
Jelly, he's better. And Mothra will come anyway because that's his bay. So.
At one point, I need somebody to summon a bird, just so like we can say the bird's.
Well,
the
you know,
word.
the bird is the word. So.
Is it all it takes to
I think
summon
I
it?
can summon a bird.
That's all it takes. I just want to hear Rob do the whole bird is the word.
You got Turbidus over there summoning his mouse.
That's gonna be the spell. I'm gonna sing that song, and birds are gonna flock to me like Cinderella.
Form.
Don't shit on those orcs.
Form majestically opens
But
up his
wait.
arms.
I use animal
do they-
handling to make the birds poop on their eyes so they can't see us come in.
I
So
think
what was it? It was like almost 20 orcs that we just saw.
There are 4 in the watchtower, and you saw at least
12?
a dozen inside the encampment.
16.
There's also a central stone tower that you couldn't really see in, and there was an outpost in the back that has an entryway inside. So there were 3 long tents, 1 big square tent, central stone tower, outpost that you haven't seen any in. But as of in plain sight, you saw about 16.
Let's just say,
did
assuming
we
maybe 2
level
per
up
total.
at some point and forget to talk about it? Because I feel like we are really weak to be fighting 20 fucking orcs.
I just wrote as a note 16 orcs and probably a fuck ton more. Just to sum it up.
That's something you'll find out next time. So.
Oh, here we go.
What
Here
if-
we go.
Now, here's a
let's get-
question that, to like set up the knowledge for our next moves next time. Are we able to attack simultaneously, or does it have to be turns? Like, can we all roll at the same? Like, say we wanted to, for argument's sake, if we all have
to toss
bows,
me.
and we want to like time
Do like a
shots to the arrow so we can simultaneously take
Right.
dudes out. Can we do that, or is that not
like
allowed? I'm not sure.
a flurry.
Technically,
Like, if say there's 4 orcs and we each pick an orc to aim at and
Right.
fire, like say it could all go awry because if one of us misses or you know something
Yeah.
like that, then that can alert the entire thing. But if we all flawlessly nail those guys, we can potentially get through the watchtower kind of.
So you want to do like a
That's what
Tom
my thinking
Clancy?
would
You
go.
want to do like a Tom Clancy Ghost Recon simultaneous
Exactly.
snipe?
If we can stealth our way into the camp at least.
for that particular scenario, that is possible to just let it all go off at once.
Okay.
So, because that'd be more like a surprise round, basically. In which
Well, we have
surprise
the
round-
we do have the opportunity to surprise because they don't know we're outside yet.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, exactly. There is an opportunity for a surprise round in which you could all simultaneously maybe fire it off, and you get advantage on the attacks. But given the distance of it, it'd be at a disadvantage, so it'd be a straight roll. So depending on how it's played about, it is possible that you could all kind of fire things off simultaneously. So
And that's until
I'm
you
gonna
just
build
snap a
some,
twig again.
I'll build a machine learning model to identify the easiest way to kill 20 orcs at level 1.
keep running the simulation over and over and over again.
All right, Dr. Strange.
What if this is just a village of like generation after generation of inbred orcs, and they just have no idea how to fight?
Well,
I mean, that's why they have 20 of them, but they only keep sending
We're
eight
also-
at a
I
time.
just walk in and roll charisma to convince them all to kill themselves.
Just charm.
just
Charm.
like the bard that
yourself.
produces the dragon, huh? That always works, right?
Does anyone speak Orcish to ask them if they would like to partake in the Jim Jones?
Ooh,
Everybody
you could
definitely
put
does
that
not want to
deer
leave.
that you had and like lay it there and make like the wolf.
Oh,
and we can use
I very much grabbed that deer meat as a distraction, and I'm gonna think for about a week now about how I could use that deer meat.
we can lure wolves. The wolves that we didn't kill before, they can come back.
Oh,
If,
those are very far.
if
Wolves
Those
are
are
long
miles.
gone.
If Chuck's not,
They missed me because they missed my bestial roar. They thought I was their mother. But no way. We
if
didn't.
Oh man, I wish. Okay.
if Chuck doesn't come back next week, we just tie the deer meat to Turbidus and we just push him.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'll heal him later.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
All right.
All right,
Well,
bye guys.
thanks
all
everybody.
good,
We
man.
appreciate it. Thanks for coming out and watching us. This is the end of episode 2 of the Hazard D&D stream. We'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll have Turbidus actually playing with us. But thank you, McNux. Thanks, Rob. Real life Peter Griffin. Thank you, Stubborn Joe. Zach, always a pleasure. Really appreciate it. And Chris, who's probably left already because he doesn't really care.
No, I'm here. We
there you
should raffle off a random fan getting to play Turbidus next week.
Oh my
That'd be awesome.
If you want to play Turbidus, follow me on Twitter and reach out to me. I mean, you might be
Yo,
playing
let's
Turbidus next week.
let's do a whole campaign around playing Turbidus. Get one session.
Listen, if I get 5 followers to get me to affiliate, then maybe I'll let a fan play Turbidus.
Oh, that'd
Let's
be-
totally do that. Let's
No,
get,
no,
if we
oh,
get
yeah, I'm
Zach to
gonna-
affiliate.
Yeah, I'm dropping your Twitter, your Twitch right in
Oh,
here.
a billion percent, Zach. Let's push Zach to affiliate. And one random person gets to play Turbidus.
Here it is. Boom.
I do stream old school RuneScape and Dota as of recently. I am doing high tier content in RuneScape if that interests you. And Dota, I'm 2K MMR, so I'm not great, but I am a great support.
What is
All right, dude.
Push
More than enough to push. Let's do it.
So if I could get affiliate, then or if I at least get the follower requirement, then maybe we'll let a fan jump in and play.
Oh hell yeah! All right.
Oh,
Because
that'd be
I do enjoy engagement with our viewers, and I also do enjoy introducing people to the game who might not have had an opportunity to. Maybe this could be our thing after all. Maybe we could have a fan introduce us like as a character for one game.
Random
Viewers-
NPCs in and out.
There you go.
Digging it. I'm digging.
I
I
love
like
it.
it. So
Cool
go
idea.
out and
All right, good time.
go out and follow your boy, Zach. I just dropped his Twitch in the chat. Go on, get that boy a follow if you do
As
so like.
a favorite NPC said,
Saw that squinty eyes immediately angered me.
Nice to tune in,
All
man.
So once again, follow Zach on Twitch, our DM. We really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks for the participation in the poll. That was like our best poll ever. Well, I guess all I need to do is just awkwardly touch Danny Glover inappropriately to get a reaction from everybody. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you back here next week. Adios.
Sweet.